Hello and welcome. I'm Kyle, AA0Z, and I will be your host for the next hour or so while we're going to be playing some ham radio trivia. Welcome. This is a departure from my usual trivia night that I host on my YouTube channel here. Host trivia the third Friday of every month at 8 p.m. Central. Come back, and we just do 4 rounds of basic trivia. Hope you can make it. Let me introduce the teams here. We've got a cast of characters joined here by Ham Radio Workbench podcast crew and the Newsline crew, so welcome all. George, you want to introduce the Ham Radio Workbench crew?
Hi, Kyle. Thanks a lot for hosting this. So let's start out with Mike, VA3MW.
Hello.
Mark, N6MTS.
Greetings.
And Rod, VA3ON.
Hello again.
Thank you. Paul, Paul from Newsline. Welcome the Newsline crew. They're the competitors to Ham Radio Workbench who won the last podcast, Battle of the Podcasts. Well, it's not a podcast per se, but Paul, you want to introduce the people from Newsline?
Absolutely. We have Neil, WB9VPG, Andy, K9AWM. Dave, WB8ODF, and Kevin, N5PRE.
Very good. Welcome.
Yeah.
So now we're better known as Team Mayhem. Because with our knowledge, this is going to get tens and tens of views.
Views?
View. The one view. Views with an S. Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear that.
Wow, plural. We're doing well.
Yeah, he's going to play it over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if we each watch it once, I think we're at 10. So.
Well, and please send this to your family members so that we can
We're up to 20.
up to 20.
So this is not a long cutting episode.
Right. All right, there's 4 rounds of 10 questions per round. I've got a tiebreaker round if needed. The scores will be added up per round, and we'll crown a champion at the end with the highest number of points. Each team will answer 10 questions in each question pool, and we'll alternate questions between teams. Each team will be given a themed question and able to collaborate on the answer between team members, so everyone at home will be able to hear their thought process and how they came up with the answer. Correct answers are worth 1 point. Incorrect answers are worth 0 points, with the opposing team not able to steal points from the incorrect answers that are given. So either it's a 1 or a 0. Nothing else. Each correct answer, I don't know if you guys will be able to hear this, is going to be awarded with this sound.
That's correct.
Nope. And you'll have to watch the YouTube channel or the YouTube stream for this. And then
Wrong.
That is an incorrect answer. So be looking for that. And then also the most important rule of them all, smack talking is allowed and encouraged.
You're going down, Newsline. Do we really want people to hear our thought processes? I mean, that's probably going to scare them off.
Maybe
Paul, it's very short. It's really not a problem.
Maybe we might mute that out of post-production. Who knows? Yeah. All right. The first question
Hold on, Kyle.
pool. Yeah, go ahead.
Do I get extra points if I get the background finished before we start?
I will give you a half a point at the end of 4 rounds if you can get the background. All right. Questions for Newsline. So we flipped a coin. I chose a number, 67, and Newsline chose 67. I chose 64. Sorry, Newsline chose 67. Ham Radio Workbench chose 17. So Newsline gets to go first. And here we go. This is question for Newsline. Your category is Let's Get Connected. A little info. The questions for Newsline were supplied by Vince from Ham Radio Workbench, and the questions for Ham Radio Workbench were supplied by the ICQ podcast, Ed. So thank you for their contributations. Their contribute to the question pool. So contribution. Thank you. Very good.
I'd like to point out that Ed is also one of us.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Paul, that was a point right there.
Yeah, good point. Good point. All right. Question number 1. The category for Newsline is Let's Get Connected. According to Amphenol's website, what is the full and proper name of the BNC connector? What is the full and proper name of the BNC connector?
No, it's the guy's name, but I can't remember it. The guy that invented it.
I would assume that C is
Connector, and N is probably network, because BNCs were also used in early days of Ethernet.
It stands for barely needed connector.
Yeah, 10 base 2 connector.
Barely needed, yes. There we go.
Old connector.
We use them a lot in TV.
Yep. Wow. Way to go right out of the gate.
Right. Yeah. If these were my questions, I would feel bad, but I really don't feel bad anymore.
I feel great at the moment, to tell you the truth.
Soon enough, George.
Since none of us know the actual name, it appears, we're just going to go with barely needed connector.
that is incorrect. The bayonet Neil Cole concealment.
Oh.
Okay.
I knew the B was bayonet. I knew that much.
I can understand. I can understand that part. Yeah.
No, this is a great chat up line at your next party.
Yeah.
I just want you to remember this.
Bayonet Neil, Conceelman.
I mean, I have one, but
yeah, that is the full name of.
How do you spell BNC connector?
Right.
B N.
So, Ham Radio Workbench, you're up here. First category is antennas, and these are all antenna-related questions. So,
does Ed know who George is?
Yes.
I hope it's not BNC.
I'm just gonna put one down for us. Because if George gets this one wrong, we're gonna fire him right away.
What is the most often used ratio of a coax-fed un used with a random length antenna or end-fed antenna?
Well, we could huddle on this one, but I think the answer is 9-1.
9-1. Yeah, for a random length. Yeah.
That is correct.
Okay, we need to have a talk with Ed.
Yes, you do.
Either that, or we should have picked a different number to start with.
Yeah.
Here's a little bit of an easier question for Ham Radio or Newsline. What does the abbreviation TRRS stand for?
Tip, ring, sleeve.
Final answer?
Yep.
That is correct.
That's correct. Yay, Paul.
Newsline 1, Ham Radio Workbench 1. Ham Radio Workbench, question number 2. What are counterpoise wires and radial wires used for?
Come on, Ed.
How much did you pay Ed, George?
No kidding.
How do you want to answer this?
I mean, they're the
incorrectly, I hope.
That's a good one.
I think it's used to trench up your yard, right?
I mean, what are they used for? They're the opposite side of the radiating element from your antenna. They're the ground plane, basically.
Yeah, let's say it's the ground system for the antenna.
All right, here's the answer that was provided. Both of these options improve the RF ground connectivity for the ground current return path and provide a counterbalance for the feed point to the antenna to reduce RF radiation back to the radio room.
I was about to say that, but
I
Sounds like excessive words.
I'm going to give it to you. It's the return. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, it's very good. Ham Radio, that's correct. Sorry.
That's correct.
Ham Radio Workbench 2, Newsline 1.
Man. Come on.
All right. Question number 3 for Newsline. Can an XLR connector be used for balanced, unbalanced audio, or both?
I'm going to say both. I mean,
I believe it is both as well.
Because if you just connect two pins, then it's unbalanced.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to say both.
Final answer?
Yep.
I say both. Yeah.
Correct.
That's correct.
Can be used for both.
You just ground one of the two signal lines, preferably the negative.
Yeah.
Question number 3 for Ham Radio Workbench.
It's a 2-part question. Do we get 2 points if we get them right? No.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
This is a 2-part question. If no counterpoise or radio wire is used, what happens A, on a vertical end-fed wire, and B, on a dipole?
Could you repeat the question?
This is a 2-part question. If no counterpoise or radial wire is used, what happens? Question number 1 is on a vertical or end-fed wire. And question number 2 is if no counterpoise or radial wire is used, what happens on a dipole?
So assuming that there's no common mode current choke on a vertical, the coax becomes your counterpoise. The outside of your shield becomes your counterpoise. And on the dipole, there is no counterpoise because the dipole is inherently balanced.
Also correct. I agree.
So the other half of your dipole is your counterpoise, basically.
Final answer?
Final answer.
That is correct. That Mark, you read that almost word for word on what the answer is.
Oh, wait, Vince didn't give us the
No.
That was Ed. Oh, thank you, Ed.
Ed, almost word for word. That is impressive. Wow. Good job. All right, so Ham Radio Workbench 3, Newsline 2. Newsline, question number 4. Name one country where the NEMA 5-15P is in widespread general use. I think I know this off the top of my head. 515P, NEMA.
Yeah.
What countries use the NEMA 515P plug?
Well, that would be awesome if
Ed wrote this, then
If
we'd
I-
say Germany, but
if I knew what that was. Well, we could also then say Canada because, you know.
You only need to only one country.
Name one. Well, let's just because do any of us really know what that plug is?
I do.
I knew the words leading up to that.
Well, I'm going to say
I know some
because
names
we're
of
not sure-
countries.
Yeah, let's just say United States.
Final answer?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yes.
NEMA 515 is your power plug, the American 3-prong power plug.
Nice guess.
Wait, the male end or the other end?
The P is the male end.
Male.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
That'd
other
be
end
an SO 515.
Okay, so the other end then is just the standard IEC for the most part.
That is a receptacle, an R.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. No, 5 means it's 110 volts, 15 means it's 15 amps. The 515 plug is the standard 2 vertical slats with the 1 ground plug beneath it.
Got it.
Yep.
The
All right.
615
What's
is the
this
240 volt. I think that's 240 volt, 20 amps.
Are we doing YMCA here?
Yes, we are. Anyway,
All right. Next question for
Glad
Ham
Mark's
Radio
on my
Workbench. How do the common HF tribander 3-element Yagis manage to operate on 3 bands? Oh my gosh.
Oh, let me guess.
come on.
Chokes.
Oh my gosh.
Traps.
Traps?
Traps.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. Traps.
All right, final answer?
Yep.
Traps?
Yeah.
That's correct.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Well,
Kyle, I have a score of 4-3. Is that correct with your notes?
I got 4-3. Thank you, Mike. 4-3.
Yep, me too.
Please keep me honest as we go through this. Somebody yell at the score to make sure that everyone is
We
got
will
the score
keep
correctly.
reminding you as long as the workbench is leading.
Next time I'll bring one of our fancy NHL timing systems and we'll put a
Yeah,
whole
that'd
camera
be
on
awesome.
it. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Newsline. Let's get connected is the topic. Up to how many amps of current can you carry with the largest Anderson power pole connector?
Oh my
And not have
gosh.
it melt.
And not have it
yes, and not have it melt. That's
Well, the largest that's like in our
they're
world, I think,
they're
is like
that big.
45. But then you've also got like the ones that are on like forklifts and stuff
Right.
to connect the batteries.
Right.
Is he talking about outside of our world? Like,
He's talking outside of our world. Yes,
oh God.
Oh man. Jeez.
outside of our world.
We have to talk to him.
Because that's got to be like up around 100 amps
That's what I was thinking.
for something for like a battery for a forklift and stuff.
I'll go with 100.
I'm gonna say 100.
Final answer.
Final answer.
That is incorrect.
What is it, Pete?
350 amps.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I just looked it up. Yeah, that surprises me.
That is some.
Just looked it up.
Yeah. Well, I can. This isn't my question.
Yeah.
Wow.
He said keep him honest.
Yeah.
All right. Ham Radio Workbench. Question number 5. Where does the well-known Zeppelin antenna get its name from?
Well, the funny thing is, it's a Zepp. The name of the antenna is a Zepp, and it comes from the Graf Zeppelin dirigible. I would say. What do you guys? Was that an adequate answer?
That was my wimpy answer too.
Yes.
Was
I thought it
does
was made out of lead.
This antenna is going to go over like a lead wire.
Zeppelin.
All
Led
right.
Zeppelin. No,
Well-
hang on. That is not our final answer yet.
Okay.
So was it
Keep going.
used on a Zeppelin, or was it made by a person named Zeppelin?
No, it was used on the Zeppelin. They used to
Was
trail
it?
the wires.
Okay.
So what is your final answer here?
I'm good with them.
That was the answer. The answer is that, well, technically the antenna is called an end-fed Zepp.
Because
but
it was trailed.
It was trailed from a Zeppelin dirigible.
Final answer. That is correct.
Oh, the way you asked that, Kyle, I
know.
I wasn't too sure.
The answer given is the Zeppelin airships used a traveling wire antenna that became known as the Zeppelin antenna.
Yep, that one I knew.
Okay.
All right.
But you can't
5
put
to 3.
behind your car
5 to
going
3.
to Dayton.
5-3. Very good. Newsline. Here we go.
I'm not
question
sure
number
about that.
6.
I may have seen a car on the way to Dayton trying that.
I saw a 10-meter antenna being drug behind a car.
Yeah, there's some weird things you see on the way to Dayton.
XLR connectors come with more than 3 pins. Name the other two. Name two other pin configurations. Ooh. I want to put too many words in there.
I'm going to say 4 and 5 because I know 5 is used for DMX in lighting, and I think there's a 4-pin configuration as well. So I'm going to say 4 and 5.
Final answer.
Guys, you guys okay with that?
Yeah, I agree.
2.
No, I think it's
Okay.
3, 4, and 5.
All right.
Let's go with 4 and 5. Final answer.
That is correct.
That's correct.
That is
'Cause
correct.
I was just down at the theater last night working with our lighting director, and I was messing with 5-pin XLRs, so I knew that much.
Ed has
And
got 4, 5, 6, and 7.
4 pins are used a lot in audiophile headphones because they're great for balanced, separate ground returns, balanced headphones.
Cool.
We use
Also
them in
used-
the RTS for TV as well. It's a 4-pin.
They're also used in the amateur world. INRAD and Heil both use 4-pin XLRs.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
had no idea.
So are we
Yeah,
5
you're
to
right.
4?
I have one on the back of my gold line.
Question for Ham Radio Workbench. On antennas, how many elements does a standard Moxon antenna have?
Wait, Mark, isn't there one in the background there? Weren't you going to build one?
Oh, yeah. I had a 20-meter Moxon up in the air for a while, but it came down.
All right, give us the answer.
2.
Final
Final
answer.
answer.
Correct.
Final answer, 2.
Correct.
That's correct.
All right, I've got Ham Radio Workbench 6, Newsline 4.
Yeah,
I agree.
Next question for Newsline. Number 7. Let's get connected as the topic. On a DIN 45322 5-pin 240 connector.
What in the hell is that?
Viewed from the
Wait,
pin
did
end.
Vince just make this up? I don't think
You know what? I'm embarrassed. We got to talk to Vince.
Thought this was going to be general questions.
I give up.
We probably should wait till the end of the show, but I might want to give them a mulligan on this one.
Let's see the question.
On a DIN 45322 5-pin 240 connector, viewed from the pin end of the male pins on the upper end of the connector, what is the order of pins from right to left?
Oh my God.
I have no idea. I mean, I don't. It's not mine to answer, but I have no idea what the connector is. But I think I can answer it.
Come on, guys.
And now you're just showing off.
So I'm assuming it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's going to be fairly safe.
I don't even know what the answer is.
So Kyle, if they're wrong, I want to give an answer on this.
I barely understand what the question is.
Yeah.
So from you're looking at the pin end of the connector,
Right.
so from right to left. I'm gonna say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Kind of what I
Do
Do you even know what kind of connector this is? Because I
No.
don't.
I don't.
It's a 5.
Okay.
It's a 5-pin DIN.
It's
I'm
a
just-
5-pin
somebody
DIN
knows
Forwards or
thing.
backwards?
Yeah. Oh,
There's 3 on top and 2 on the bottom.
Oh my gosh. This is
Wait,
crazy.
let me
Okay.
unscrew this.
If it's the connector we use in race timing, I know it. That's why I think
Okay.
I have the answer.
okay.
All right. Well, Ham Radio Workbench crew can decipher if they want to throw
Is
this
it-
question out or
is
just
it
give.
1, 4, 3, 5. No, 1, 4, 2, 5, 3, or the other way around.
I'm sure that's a firing order
Big
for a
one.
small block.
Do you want to you want to steal Mike's answer?
It's as good as ours. I'm
well, it
If
depends
Kyle's
on
asking
if
you
it's in
that
an
question, I
arch
think the
or if
answer is
it's in a-
yes.
well. If it's not in a straight line, if it's like 3/2, then yeah.
Then 5 would be in the middle.
This is great.
Yeah, let's steal Mike's answer.
Let's steal Mike's answer.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Oh my.
So it's
Thank you, Mike.
it's
Yeah.
the classic 5-pin DIN, right?
Yeah, like the old school PC
Right.
keyboard.
And when they
connector.
first came out from
Or MIDI
Telefunken,
connector.
whoever used them, they only came as 3s. So they did 1, 2, 3. And then they decided, well, we need 5. So they put 4 and 5
in between one, two,
and then it
three.
went, I think, 7, 8, and 9. And by
So
the way,
this
they also come in, by the way, just to drive you further nuts.
Thanks.
The outer curl is either circular or horseshoe, where the 2 outsides are vertical. So
So is this is a round plug or a rectangular one?
round.
round.
Okay, so like a MIDI.
It's the
Yes,
5-pin DIN.
yes.
It's the 5-pin DIN on the back of an ICOM radio.
Well, okay. Oh, it's sort of. So
Sort of.
I'm actually Googling it right now. The 240 means it's the horseshoe kind because the thing
Other
takes
one is-
240 degrees of the circle.
Circle.
The other one is a 180 where it only takes up 180 degrees of the circle.
Right. And the other 2 pins, 7 and 8, are down below if you
Yeah.
had pin 2, which is ground on top. So
Wow.
I
And
100%
we
agree with
said
the
we
mulligan
wouldn't
on this
turn
one.
this into a
Wow.
lawnmower episode.
All right. Here we go. We're going to keep this going. Oh my
I
gosh.
can't believe
Did we
it's-
actually get that point?
you did
We
it.
got
Yeah.
we got
I gave you
Yeah.
that point. Yeah.
6 to 5. 6 to 5. All right, back on Ham Radio
God,
Workbench.
there's crap that's stuck in my head.
What bands would you normally find a HB? Hang on, I got to go back to the question.
So what's an uppercase? That's a O?
Zero.
0.
Is that a 0?
Zero
Yes,
CV.
HV0.
Yeah. What bands would you normally find an HB0 CV antenna being used on?
I've never heard of that.
Chocolate pans.
Have you guys heard of that?
No.
Where do they
Well-
get these questions?
It's going to be
It's Ed.
This is an Ed
It's Swiss
question.
design, right?
I don't know. What bands? So there's more than one?
Yeah. Yes. In the question, there are more than one. Correct.
Say wherever they're resonant.
40 and 15.
If you get one of these, I will give it to you.
Oh,
40.
Yeah. What
40.
what bands? What bands?
40.
Is that your final
I
answer?
would say 40 and 15 because 40 meter dipole works on 15 very well. Well, I don't know.
All right. Final answer.
Just a shit ass. I mean,
I got nothing better. Let's go with 40.
40.
It's incorrect.
20.
How big is your tuner?
15.
10.
The
Are these
the
exotic?
6.
VHF and UHF is often used in radio direction finding hunts on 2 meters.
HB0CV?
Yep. Might want to
Mark's
look it
looking
up.
that one up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, I am.
All right. Question for Newsline number 8. Your computer has a blue coated TRS jack on it. It is usually found near the pink colored TRS jack. What is the blue colored TRS jack used for on your computer?
Is that line in?
Line in.
Line in, because green is speaker out or line out. Pink is microphone.
mic.
So yeah, line in.
Line.
Final
I
answer.
agree.
Final answer?
Yep.
I am going to give it to you. Line levels input.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, same thing.
So to correct the previous question, not that it's going to change whether we get it or not, but according to Google, it is the HB9 CV.
Oh, that makes all the difference.
well, they would have
No
known
wonder
that.
you didn't get
Yes.
Yeah.
That gave it away.
Yeah. I just copied these over so the
No wonder Vince
the
isn't here.
open parenthesis would have been 9. Yeah, you're right. Well,
Just so
It
you
was
know,
the
if
wrong
any of us have to
parenthesis.
write questions for one of these for the next one, make sure we don't show up. You're going to get ripped a new one.
yeah. Okay. Question number 8 for Hammer Workbench. Name the well-known commercial antenna product range that can be used to create both loaded vertical and horizontal antennas often used in a portable setup.
Name the well-known commercial antenna.
Oh, well, I would think
Would
it's
be
Buddy
arrows?
Pole. I don't
Arrow
know.
antennas?
I think it's Buddy Pole.
I was going to go with Pactena.
Well, that's the obvious answer, but
Yeah.
Well,
Buddy pole.
hold on. Commercial antenna product range, loaded vertical and horizontal antenna.
yeah, because
Is an arrow antenna not?
they're not loaded.
They're not
Arrow
loaded.
antennas are all VHF
Yeah.
antennas.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's Buddy Pole because
Yeah,
they're
Buddy Pole.
because you can put in either configuration and they always have loading coils.
And they're probably the best known of the
Yeah.
options for that. Yeah. Yeah, I'll go with I agree on Buddy Pole.
Final answer?
Buddy
That is
Pole.
correct.
It's not HB9 something.
What do you got for score, Kyle?
7-6.
7-6. Yep.
Yeah, we're up
Okay.
by 1. Yeah.
Newsline. Let's get connected. Question number 9. Most VHF radios come with a power connector where one pin is offset 90 degrees relative to the other pin. What is the name of this connector?
Hard to remove.
What is the name of that connector that comes on? I think Kenwood uses it.
Everybody used it. Yeah, it was one of the
Yeah.
few things that was on every VHF, UHF radio.
Yeah.
And
for
has
the
been
Logcom
replaced by
program.
power poles.
Right.
normally.
Yeah,
They
Is
get
it
cut?
this one?
Cut and
no.
replace.
yeah.
I can't see it there, Dave.
Oh, Neil said no.
Okay.
We talking?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's a
Uh,
Moxon type.
Molex?
Oh, it's say
Molex.
Yeah,
Molex.
Molex.
I mean, Molex,
Yeah.
I think, is a manufacturer. I don't know the exact.
I just always call
Number.
it Molex. So.
Let's go with Molex.
That is incorrect. It's called a T connector.
Of course it is.
Oh, well,
What else would you
okay.
call it?
Yeah, that's
That's
what,
what
I call,
you call it.
Oh, that's what I call it, but
I
that's
called that right.
yeah, okay.
All right. All
I
right.
don't think that's an ANSI term.
Yeah,
for that.
like
Oh,
I
you
think
know
it
what?
actually has a product number and all that fun stuff. But
You know what?
okay.
Actually, now that we said that, I can picture exactly what we're talking
Yeah.
about. I wouldn't have called it a T connector still, but I know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
Well,
Ham radio workbench. Number 9. Given suitable radio and antenna equipment, name the ionic sphere value that is needed as well to decide whether NVIS communications will or will not work.
Spheric value.
Wow.
What ionospheric value?
The only atmospheric value I know is the
K-index and all that
maximum usable frequency.
Well, I was thinking like the
No, that's-
A or K index.
But you need a Class M planet.
All right. So so I got the answer here. It might be debatable. So Newsline, you might want to get ready to
Ionospheric value.
figure out if you're going to give this to Ham Radio Workbench.
the ionospheric value. I mean, what's
Is it
really
like-
necessary?
So, okay, around NVIS communications, right?
Right?
So we're looking for, just trying to think of a character of NVIS that would be dictated by atmospheric conditions.
Well, you're bouncing it off of the atmosphere. You're scattering it off of the atmosphere directly above you. So the more ionized your atmosphere directly above you is, the more scatter you're going to get.
I think you guys
so
are getting confused.
ionization
I think we're looking for what is the, whenever you go to a website and look at a value, what is that value? What's the name of the value?
Okay, so it's going to be like the K index or the I don't know those numbers. I don't.
Well, I mean, the solar numbers are A and K indexes, but has nothing to do with NVIS per se. It determines what the ionization is on what band, and not all bands are NVIS bands.
Yeah, that's true.
So ionospheric value, the only things that could pop to my mind besides the indices are which layer it is, but that's not really a value.
No, it's not a layer. It's not a layer.
And Muff, Muff is not quite right because, regardless, NVIS is only happening in 40 meters and down.
Right.
So I don't even know what a value would be. Do you guys have a guess?
11.
Well, that might be a valid number.
We need an answer.
So do we.
In the absence of anything, maybe MUF is a reasonable answer. I can't think of anything else.
Is that your final answer?
I can't come up with something better. What do you guys think?
The only thing I could think of is some index that describes how ionized the atmosphere is, and I just don't know what that is off the top.
So that's the K index, isn't it? Because the index is aurora related.
All right, need an answer. 3.
Okay, so I'd go with K if anything.
Go for it.
All right,
Mike.
K index.
Final answer, K.
Sure.
That is incorrect.
Wrong.
Don't tell me it was.
We could have told you that.
The arguments will begin now. Yes.
Critical frequency, also known as the FXL and the F of 2.
For what it's worth, I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
I've heard of the FO2. I have heard of that because that is a value on one of my Node-RED dashboards. That is
FO2 is what you
for.
say whenever somebody says FO to you.
Exactly.
all right.
All right.
We're gonna move on here.
Yeah, move
Newsline.
right.
Last question of this round. Let's get connected. Besides the impedance rating, what is the difference between a 50 ohm and a 75 ohm male BNC connector?
Oh, about 40 cents.
The diameter of the pin.
Mike, this is not
Mike,
ours.
that's their question.
Oh, that's not the answer.
I'll go with diameter of the pin.
That's what I was just saying, because that affects the impedance. So it's the diameter of the center center pin.
Final answer.
Otherwise, the diameter of the barrel is the same because you can plug them both together. But yeah, diameter. Guys, are you good with that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
diameter
Paul
of the
works
center
with
pin.
these wires.
And there's an 8 instead of a 9, or 9 instead of an 8 on the end of the number.
The difference is that if you
Printed on
use
the
the
side.
wrong male on the wrong female, you end up having to replace both sides because it screws things up.
Okay, so your answer is the diameter of the center pin.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not going to award a point or take a point away. I'm going to read the answer, and Ham Radio Workbench can decipher if that is a correct answer. The answer given is a 50 ohm connector has an inner dielectric visible between the shield and center pin to the edge of the connector, where the 75 ohm connector does not.
That is correct, but Mike's pin and Paul's pin answer is equally correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
are we going to give it to him? Okay,
Yeah.
correct. Very good.
Okay, what does that even mean? The other thing.
If you look inside the BNC connector, like a normal 50 ohm one, you'll see that there's a little like white plastic ring. Okay, in a 75 ohm connector, that's not there, or it's much smaller. It looks different inside.
I wonder how many of these I've ruined.
Yeah. So on I can't remember which one's which. On 50 ohm, all of the dielectric in the mating part, in one of them, all of the dielectric is on one side of the connector, and the other side doesn't have any. And on the other one, it's kind of split half and half. And so it's supposed to be so that you can look into the connector and tell the difference between the two.
The 75 ohm one, the male side doesn't have that plastic stuff in it.
Okay,
And it's
so
entirely
Very
on
good.
The female.
because these I just bought for my field day go kit, so I'm hoping I got the right ones.
All the good news is for field day, they're both fine.
All right, Ham Radio Workbench. Last
Really?
question of
Really?
the
Really?
round.
Okay, so it's safe for me to answer now. Okay.
It is. Mike, name the well-known commercial antenna product range that mechanically adjusts the length of its beam elements to be able to operate on different bands. You might even have one.
Do you mean
might
these
have
things
even been-
step
I
in
might
and
have
out?
even been editing the Node Red thing that controls this thing.
Wow.
All right,
I was
Mike,
just
what's
going to
it-
ask Kyle how come dead range only works in a positive number.
Okay, thanks, Ed. Throw them an easy one.
Okay, Mike, what's the answer?
Or OptiBeam.
Final answer.
Step IR.
That is
North
correct.
American word.
That is correct. All right. I've got on my little handy-dandy analog paper here, Ham Radio Workbench 8, Newsline 7.
I agree.
That's what I have.
All right. Very good. So round 1 goes to Ham Radio Workbench, and then we're going to add all of the scores up together and crown a winner at the end. So round 1 was 7, and round 1...
You get a crown made out of like old RG8
With BNC connectors.
with BNC
Yeah.
connectors.
Yeah, they're all tarnished at the end. We're going to make sure they're all tarnished. All right, very good. So, end of round 1. Ham Radio Workbench 8, Newsline 7. We're going to mosey on to round number 2 here. Because Newsline picked the number closest to what I picked, they get to go first again on all the rounds. That's the way that we do this. So, Newsline, your next topic is play it safe. Play it safe. Question number 1, round number 2, play it safe. According to Ward Silver, N0AX, my mentor, there were 3 reasons grounding is important. Name 2 of them.
Start a fight.
Well, yeah, there you go. Yeah, ask somebody what the best way to ground your station is.
The next question is, Paul, too, going to be, how do you solder a PL259?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so, I mean, one of them is noise reduction. One of them is shack safety or safety / lightning protection. So those are like 2 main ones. I would say shack safety and noise reduction, because theoretically you have lower noise if everything's grounded properly, unless you live inside a town with a vertical and a courtyard of your condo.
Final answer.
Or have an inflatable Halloween thing next door to you, Paul.
Yeah. Spark gap skeleton.
Yeah, skeleton. That's it.
So yeah, so we're gonna go with lower noise and shack safety.
That is correct. I'm going to give it to you.
Okay.
So the 3 given is AC or mains, electrical safety, lightning protection, and RF management. I think you got it.
Yeah.
That's
That reference I made, a neighbor of mine across the street and down a few houses, every Halloween, like a month before Halloween, would put up this giant 18-foot high inflatable Jack Skellington balloon that was lit inside with flashing LEDs. Turns out that the cheap controller for the flashing LEDs transmitted broadband RF up the wiring for the LEDs. And every night when that would turn on, for a month and a half, I had no HF.
Nice.
Wow.
So I just called him Spark Gap Skellington, and just fortunately he moved.
All right, Ham Radio Workbench, your topic is amateur frequencies and band information. Name all of the amateur HF frequencies, including the work bands, that are available in countries in IARU Region 2. Let me get over to the answer here just to make sure that I understand the answer.
So all of them. So 160.
Well,
So
keep
the-
going lower.
Well,
No,
are
they-
those
no,
available?
HF.
No, those are US.
HF.
HF. What about
Well,
what about 2200 and
wait a minute.
630?
Wait.
Those are not HF. Those are MF and LF.
Technically, HF
Those are-
is 3. Wait a minute.
Okay.
3
HF
megs
is
and
3 to
above.
30 technically. So technically, 160 is not an HF band, even though
I
we
agree. I
think of that.
agree. So
Okay.
the question is whether 60 is an IARU band or whether that's a US band. I think that's an FCC only band.
That's a great point.
Oh.
I don't know about 30 either, whether that's IARU or whether that's US only.
I think it is.
Okay, so 80, 40, 30, 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10.
That's right, because 50 is considered VHF.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Give me those bands again.
80, 40, 30, 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10.
Final answer.
Do we need to add or remove anything there?
I agree.
I think it's good.
That is incorrect.
Is 60 on the list?
60's on the list.
Oh.
I'm going to argue with that one. I don't think that's an IARU band.
Well,
I think
okay.
that's an FCC only band.
Newsline, look it up, and if that is correct, we will award a point. But 60 is in my list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a trick question.
Yeah, I disagree. I don't think 60 is an IARU.
Okay.
IARU Region 2 band.
Yep.
Hang on.
We can dispute. We have the power of the internet.
Yeah.
60 meter band.
So we can
The magic
do
Google box
questions
says
with 18 answers.
It is. It's in the IARU docs.
the United States, the United Kingdom, Norway, Finland, Denmark, Ireland, and Iceland.
The 60 is correct.
Yeah.
60 is part of the IARU?
It is.
Yeah. But I think that was a really good answer because I thought it was a trick question.
Yeah. I thought.
Okay.
Well, whenever you guys said that 160 was not HF and it was, not part of that frequency or range, I'm like, okay, they got it, but
They
nope,
got it, yeah.
you didn't.
Okay. Damn. All right.
All right, moving on. Newsline question number 2. Play it safe. What is the range of frequencies between which the human body is most affected by RF exposure? Ooh.
Read that again, please.
Name the range of frequencies between which the human body is most affected by RF exposure.
Most
60.
affected is up in the
Most.
microwave range.
Most affected, yes.
So
And this is the answer has the word when the whole body is exposed. I will give you that.
Well, there's a reason they put a screen on your microwave, so maybe that's got.
yeah, because 2.4 and 5 is not because we're bathing in it all the time.
It is a range of frequencies. Yep. Oh, it's in the question. What is the range of frequencies? So bottom end to top end. So if you're going to just give me 2.4 or 5 or 80,000 gigawatts.
Well, that
I'm
was
looking
going to be my answer.
I'm
Thanks.
looking for a range.
That was the hint.
I'm going to say 5 to 5.
Whatever the
to-
5G range is to start a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, it's 5 to what, 10 gigahertz, 5 to 20 gigahertz. What do you guys think?
I'll
This
go
is
with 5 to
very
10.
debatable.
It is.
Most of these questions are.
So let's go.
Because
let's
if you're
go-
at 4.99999, it's not going to be any different than 5.
Well, then let's go higher. Let's say like 10 to 50 gigahertz. Because 5 is a standard Wi-Fi band, so that's not going to kill you.
So is this without going over?
Well,
These Price is Right rules.
$1,
Yeah, exactly.
please.
let's go 10 to 50 gigahertz.
So I will give the answer that was given, and then the Ham Radio Workbench guys can debate on if they want to give this to you. So final answer, Paul?
Yeah.
So the answer given is 30 to 300 megahertz is where the human body absorbs the most RF energy.
Well, that would be VHF.
Yeah, I would say it's not correct because if it was like off, not just exactly the right number, then fine.
So
Right.
it's okay to stand in front of my 3 watt with a 30 dB gain antenna 10 gig transmitter?
Only if you do the ARL calculations on RF exposure.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to see the hot dog?
Yeah.
But the question says most affected, and that's not necessarily absorption.
Yeah,
Well,
so that
half of
means-
us are bald.
The full answer is the most restrictive limits on whole body exposure are in the frequency range of 30 through 300 megahertz, where the human body absorbs RF energy the most efficiently when the whole body is exposed. That is the full answer that is here.
So don't stand in front of my 2-meter beam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, given that our bodies are roughly 2 meters tall, I'm wondering if the theory on that is that we are a wavelength and we would resonate.
All right.
Just a cavity resonator.
Yeah, I would have
So
gone
does
with the
that mean
resonant.
Does that mean if I get 2 or 3 people at differing heights to stand in front of my beam, it would
You could
add
be a
to the
log
multiband?
periodic.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a field day feature.
Yeah.
I would have gone with 2.5 gigs because that's roughly the resonant frequency of water. That's why microwave ovens use it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I would have said.
All right.
bummer.
Are we gonna?
I won't give them the answer because they weren't close.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going
All
to go
right.
with 0.
Yeah,
Moving on.
We were way high.
Ham radio workbench. Question number 2. In which year did the international 60 meter band get approved by the ITU?
That's insult to injury, right?
I
there.
know.
Is that IARU band again?
Yeah.
I looked it up, and yes, it is in the IARU
Approved
band
doesn't mean
plan.
it went useful.
What?
It was relatively. I mean, it was recent that it was added to us.
It was like 20 years ago in round numbers, but I don't know what year.
It's a long time ago when it was approved.
Well, would it be part of one of the work events, which is only like
No.
every 4 years? It was independent of that.
It wasn't one part of the work release, but yeah, it might have been on that cycle.
I mean, it wasn't a work band, but I mean, it could have been done in,
Man.
at
told
a
you
work
guys we
thing.
wanted to invite Tim Elsham, V6SH.
True.
I need a year that it was
Tim's
approved.
sitting, I know he listens to this. I know he's sitting there going,
He's yelling at us
yelling
right
at
now.
the speakers.
Green.
Yeah. I have no clue.
not a clue.
Final answer.
Yes, George. just
I'm
guess.
1998.
Final answer. That is incorrect.
Shocker.
Of course it is.
You think?
2015.
Really? I thought it was way before then.
I had 2014 if you'd
wait.
15.
Wait.
So it says dates
Okay.
before this were not an official band rather than locally agreed separate channels and
Oh,
not
the trials.
international yet.
So I was right about the 60 meter band. My data was just old.
Well,
yes.
There you go.
Nice try.
Yeah. I'd throw that question out. We have a DIN connector question, please.
There might be
number
more
7.
coming on. Yeah.
And
So,
number 7.
Newsline, play it safe. According to Ward Silver in 0AX, what is the definition of bonding?
Being close with
When
your
you
kids.
really like
Honestly,
your
We're
equipment.
doing it right now.
Then ionic or covalent?
I want to
Every-
say Zoom room.
Everybody going out for coffee and a sandwich.
That's when all your ground connections are at one point. They're bonded.
They're all tied together. So
Yeah.
you have, your radios are all tied to common ground. Yeah. So everything is connected to a common ground.
Final
Single
answer.
point. Yeah.
That is correct.
That's
That
I
is
would
correct.
like y'all to acknowledge how good I've been about biting my tongue because my mock answer to that question was not safe for work.
So the gloves are off now, Mark? Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, because I did not actually provide. Anyway, let's move on.
Question number 3, Ham Radio Workbench, amateur frequencies and band info. What is the maximum PEP power allowed by the ACMA on the HF bands in Australia? What is the maximum power basically allowed on HF bands in Australia?
I knew there's going to be an Australian question here somewhere.
Yeah. Inevitable.
That's a lot of numbers.
Is it 400?
I was about to say 400. Yeah, that's my guess. I don't know. I'm just guessing, but I think that sounds right.
I'm pretty sure.
Is that a metric?
Yes.
Freedom
fact.
units.
Freedom units, yeah.
It's one of the few metric units we actually use in the U.S.
Mike, what do you think?
I think you're right because that's why we don't sell many amplifiers into Australia.
All right, 400.
Final answer?
Yep.
That is incorrect.
That's correct.
Please don't tell me it was 200 because that's what I was thinking.
Answer: 1 kilowatt PEP was introduced for a year in a test upgrade under a license
Ever.
NOV.
Ever allowed.
Yeah, it says ever.
Oh, please. Okay. Trick questions.
Is it tied, Kyle? 8-8. Or am I?
Well, I have on this round Newsline 2, Ham Radio Workbench 0.
That's
Yeah.
what I have.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's what I got.
That's right. I was missing one.
But nice
Okay.
try, Paul.
Newsline. Next question. Play it safe. What type of radiation is an RF signal considered to be? Ooh.
Non-ionizing.
Non-ionizing.
Final answer.
Yeah.
Correct.
I learned something.
Well done.
Newsline 3, Ham Radio Workbench 0.
What's
Question
great
number.
about this is when we get done, I get to go upstairs and tell my wife that all that useless tech stuff in my head came in handy for once.
Workbench. Which VHF and UHF band or bands are currently available for two-way communication in some European countries, but not in North America?
4 meters.
That's the only one I can think of.
That is.
Yeah.
I don't know if there are any others.
That's the only one I can think of either.
Hold on. I'm trying to think if they coughed up a new one.
Excuse me?
No, because we
Oh,
get
for
requests sometimes from, just something's bugging me on this, but
Well, there's talk of a 40 megahertz band, but I don't think that's
7 meters.
available.
And
of which I
the
can
other
get a
part-
temporary license for here in Canada.
The other trick part to this is that it's including UHF, which goes up to 3 gigahertz. So I don't know of anything between 300 and 3 gig.
So the question says which VHF and UHF band. So if you name one
4
one of
meters,
those,
Final answer.
Yeah.
Okay,
70
what is your final answer?
4
4
meters.
meters, 70 megahertz.
That is correct. All right,
Finally, we're on the board.
Ham Radio Workbench is on the board.
About time.
All right. Newsline, question number 5. What should you do if you feel a tingle on your lips when speaking into a microphone? Ooh, this
Well,
could
first
get bad.
podcast because it's way too long.
This could be bad.
I say ground it.
Well, first off, back off from the microphone.
Find the
But-
closest metallic object.
Yeah. But then,
Refill your drink is where I went with that.
Don't stick your tongue to it.
but
Ground
what that's
ground
telling
yourself into the ground at least 8 foot.
Well, now, let me ask: Does this refer to ham radio or just microphones in general? Because it could be two different things.
Oh, yeah.
Could be phantom power.
No.
No.
You were going down the right path there, Paul.
Okay, because if we're talking about in relation to ham radio, it could mean that you need to put common mode current chokes because you got too much RF coming into the shack, and it's hitting the screen on your microphone.
Final answer?
Does that sound right? I mean, it could otherwise it could be your audio system isn't grounded properly, but if you're talking on the radio, that's not the issue. The issue is most likely too much RF in the shack. So keep the RF outside of the building. So yeah.
I'm going to give it to you. That's correct.
Okay.
The answer given is move the mic away from your face and set it down and troubleshoot the source from the voltage leak.
I
I thought the answer was turn on the amplifier so you can feel your ears buzzing. You're at the right point.
Wouldn't be the first thing you do is you stop transmitting?
Never stop transmitting.
Well, I've had the other problem you were describing while on stage doing a performance.
Oh yeah.
I zapped myself between my bass and my microphone, and that was not fun.
If you're a musician on stage, you've experienced that many, many times, especially in bars with horrible power.
Horrible wiring. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Question number 5 for Workbench. Hang on. Number 6. Sorry. Number 6. Name 3 of the 7 countries that have 8-meter amateur radio beacons operational.
Ooh. Canada.
UK. Because I just heard ICQ podcast
yeah.
talking about this, so I'll go with Canada.
U.S.
Do we?
No, I don't think
No?
so.
Okay, UK.
Maybe we do. Actually, that's a good
As
point.
an experimental license?
Maybe. UK, Canada, Australia?
The Queen loves her 8-meter band.
Maybe. If you think it's the US, I mean, I really don't know. I'm guessing.
No idea.
UK, Canada, US?
Canada, I'm 100% sure of because I applied for one and just never finished it, and I got it. So, Rod?
I was going to go Commonwealth.
So
Yeah,
UK.
And apparently Ed has a thing for Australia, so let's go for.
Yeah,
What about Bermuda?
Well, we only
Okay.
need 3, so let's go with Canada, UK, and Australia.
Okay, so one thing, we skipped a question. We need to go back to 5. We'll do that after, so remind me we need to go back to 5. So to answer this question, name 3 of 7 countries that have the 8-meter beacons operational. And your answer is what?
Canada, UK, and Australia.
That is incorrect.
Wrong.
What were they?
Denmark, Ireland, United States, South Africa, Slovenia, Croatia, and Lithuania.
Canada's
Wow.
right, though.
Well, you want to
Yeah,
look
we
it
didn't
up?
I don't have to look it up. I have the paperwork.
I'm the authority of.
It's outlawed now, Mike. We've changed the law once again in Canada. That's
Oh, sorry.
probably-
We had an election yesterday, right? Oh, that
Yeah,
was provincial.
exactly.
All right.
Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't get the other ones anyway, so.
Yeah. All right. Newsline. Question number 6. We got to go back to Hammer Workbench. But question number 6. Why would you use a slow blow fuse in a circuit instead of a fast blow fuse?
Startup inrush. The initial current when you turn something on could be higher than the running current. So you wouldn't want it to pop right away when you turn it on, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Final
So,
answer?
Startup current.
That is correct.
Go
That is correct.
Paul.
So I've got Ham Radio Workbench 1, Newsline 5.
Woo,
And
jeez.
you need to go back to 5.
Right.
We need to
So
go back to
now,
question 5.
yeah. So 5 for Ham Radio Workbench is, and I got confused because it's similar. It's worded similar to the question number 4. So question number 5 now is, which VHF and UHF band or bands are hang on, guys.
We did that one. 4 and
So
5
4
are this,
4 is which VHF, UHF band or bands are currently available for two-way communication in some European countries, but not North America.
okay.
We did that one. That was the.
And the
Twisty
next
little
one
maze of
is
passages.
which VHF and UHF band or bands are currently available for two-way communication in
220.
parts of North America, but not in Europe. There we go.
220.
Well, what about 900? I don't think they have 900.
Are we good on the
Band
question?
or bands, same rule. So, like, if we get one of them,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Oh.
opposite side of the other question. So.
yeah,
Oh, you
Yeah.
just need one band?
yeah, 220.
Well, yeah, it says
Well,
band or
220
bands.
I don't know
Yep.
about Europe and 220. Are you sure on 220 for Europe? 220 is
Yeah.
not in Japan. That's
It's
why
not in
we
Europe.
could never get radios. So,
yeah, it's not in Europe. Yeah, 220.
okay.
Final answer?
Yeah.
That is correct. George hit both of them. 220, or maybe Mark it was, and 900 megahertz.
I knew 906 was another one. Yeah.
Okay, we are all lined up now. Very
Yep,
good.
we're
All
on
right.
Question number 7.
Yep. Newsline. Play it safe. How much current does a fuse with a self-indicated LED pass if the fuse is blown?
All of it?
If the fuse
Fuse
is
blown.
then it's not passing any.
Oh man.
I mean, because the LED is not going to show up if the fuse is popped, right? Wouldn't the LED only be lit if?
How much
Is it-
current does a
Oh,
fuse
I
with
get
a
this one.
self-indicated LED pass if the fuse is blown?
That's tricky. The answer is none. If the fuse is not going to pass any current if it's blown,
Final answer?
I'm going to say 0.
That is incorrect.
Yep.
What?
Because the LED is around the
Wow.
fuse.
It's in
So when
parallel.
the fuse is good, yeah, they're in parallel. So when the fuse is good, it shorts out the LED and it does not light up. But when the fuse is blown, then the path through the resistor and the LED does light up, and it's an indication that the fuse has been blown.
But the question is worded,
But
how
does
much
it
current does the fuse pass? And the fuse
pass?
passes nothing if it's blown.
How much current
I-
does a fuse with a self-indicating LED?
There is such a thing.
Yeah.
And this came from who? Vince?
This came from Vince.
And wasn't he playing with these?
He might have been.
Yeah.
With
Well,
his
it's the
battery
same thing you
project?
find on
I-
a lot of power strips where it may not be a self-indicating fuse, but you'll put in that circuit around the fuse anyway to show that same effect.
So when the fuse blows, you get.
Yeah, so it's the
What
current.
was the
that's-
answer? 100 milliamps?
Not that.
Way less than 100
like
milli.
10
It should be
mils.
like 1 to 10, somewhere in that range. LEDs don't. Yeah.
What
Okay.
was the answer, Kyle?
Well, enough current to drive the LED. Any answer between 1 and 100 milliamps is acceptable.
Yeah, that's
What
correct.
LED needs 100 milliamps?
A really
Bright
big
one.
one.
Jesus.
That's a really big
Yeah,
on my
that's
cart.
Freaking
that's a
beacon in your
beacon. That's a
shack.
beacon.
All
Yeah.
I won't argue that one anymore, even though it's worded that says how much current will the fuse
I-
pass if the fuse is
Fuse
blown.
with a self-indicating
It's
LED.
okay, Paul. We're
All right,
winning.
we're moving on. We're
So
moving on
we're
here.
winning.
All right.
You
Currently.
guys are beating the pants off of us. is what
Ham
you're doing.
Radio Workbench. Name 7 of the 13 AM HF broadcast bands in wavelength across the world. Remember that some ham frequencies are broadcast region frequencies in other ITU regions.
Hang on. Let me go get my helicrafters.
Like
All right, so 7. All right, so you're gonna have to write this down and put them in order because there's
7 of them. Jeez Louise.
7 of the 13.
I can't get 2 of them.
Well, I can
Oh,
think
there's
of a
30
couple.
meters. So
31,
30's
31, 31, not
31.
30. 49.
I'm writing them down. 30.
Okay, let's go by what's close to what. So 5 megahertz is
60?
but what do they call it? What's that called in what's the
60.
meter band name? Is
60.
it called? Well,
Yeah.
we
For
Yeah, it
shortwave?
is a 60 meter band, actually.
Oh, that is what they go. Okay, so 60. And then there's the 9 megahertz band, which would be 31 meters.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's
We've got
11.
broadcast on both sides of the 20 meter band. Oh, I'm sorry. You're going by frequencies. Okay.
But but there's a broadcast below the 20 meter band, which would make it, but it's not. 20
Yeah, give me the
it's
bands.
Not
Give me the
21
bands
meters.
in wavelength.
I know.
Yeah, I can't think of what that's called.
What's between 160 and 80? Is there? Okay. Okay. What's above 40? That's 39. Okay.
Then let's see above.
Because I remember when they used to do HF radio advertising because you didn't have the resolution, right? They'd just say, "Yeah, you'll just find us on the 31 meter band somewhere."
So
Spin the dial.
there's one at 11 megahertz, which would be
Higher than
20
30, so 29, 28.
20, yeah, I don't know what that's 20.
27.
God, I don't know what
Let's
they
say
call
27.
it. All right.
I mean, you can do the math on it. So, but
You got a few more.
yeah, I know we're getting there.
Then around 15.
17. Is there a 17? They're generally
There's
odd numbers too, aren't they?
Yeah, there's around 17 or 18. I can't remember. I think it's around
It's
18.
17.
Is somebody else writing these down? Because
Yeah.
I'm writing them down.
I am.
I'm not.
I think we should get if we get 3 of them.
And Andy checked out.
Alphabetically?
Yeah, let's do this with the square root.
So certainly 30, 31, 49, 60.
Yeah.
His bands conditions were never that good. And then you started getting up
Right.
into around 15 meters. So was there 13 meter?
That I think so. There is around there. Say 13.
So if we do this going 10, no, 11, no, 12, no, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18 for sure.
18?
Yeah, 19, 20,
Okay, well, we're at
21,
6
22,
then.
13, 18.
Oh, 7.
Is this the point where I say, "Hey George, what's on your workbench?"
All right, we got to wrap this up. We got 2 more rounds here.
We'll cut us some slack. This is a lot of numbers.
I know.
It's a lot of
I hear you.
numbers.
80. So goes shorter than 80.
I don't think there's anything down there.
So
60,
do we already have like
65,
the
sorry.
19
Well,
meter band
I
or,
had 13, 18,
or
13, 18,
39?
31, 49, 60. But
27.
Was 27 meter band?
Well,
Okay.
I don't remember that one, honestly.
Well,
There
it's
is
not
one around
11
there.
meter.
Yeah,
So-
there is one around there. I just don't remember. It's called 27.
Anyway,
We need one more, guys.
You've thrown out so many numbers. I have completely
Okay.
lost track of whether
Yeah,
you're talking
yeah.
about frequencies or meters.
Meters.
there's something longer than 60. I don't know if it was 65 or something. So
Got to pick a number.
okay, in meters, Mark, just so you know, going backwards, 60, 49, 31, 27, 18, and 13.
It would 60, 49,
31,
31,
27,
27,
which is in the wrong place. I don't know, 18 and 13.
18, and 13. So the only one that I'm aware of is the one that's on the top end of the 40 meter band. So is
39?
there like a 39 or a 37?
There is now. We're just guessing. All
right.
39.
There is now.
Okay, we're
So
done.
that's our 7th.
Okay, there we go. Go ahead.
Okay.
Mike.
Read
All
them
right.
off.
So, all right. So
60,
60.
49,
Okay.
39,
Yep.
31,
Yep.
27,
Yep.
18, and 13.
Roger that.
All right. Final answer.
Yep.
Yeah, those.
A couple of those are incorrect.
What a shocker.
Yeah.
All right. So here are the bands: 90, 75, 60, 49, 41, 31, 25, 22, 19, 16, 15, 13, and 11.
There is an 11. Oh.
Is this the numbers broadcast on HF?
Breaker 19. Breaker 19. All right.
Next.
All right.
That was a
Newsline.
lot of work for nothing.
Yeah. Question number 8. What is the only acceptable place to use a backup power generator driven by an internal combustion engine?
NIMBY.
Outside of my house.
Outside.
Well,
In the International Space Station.
outside, either outside
I like that answer.
or either outside or in a shed that's ventilated. Because I mean, I've worked at radio stations where they had a diesel-driven gen set, but it was in like a garage thing that they could open and vent. So, he's probably looking
A
for
ventilated
outside,
area.
ventilated area or outside.
Final answer.
Yeah,
Correct.
Yes.
That's correct.
Not in the spare bedroom.
exactly.
All right.
No, you're allowed one in the trunk of your Tesla.
Just have a lot of batteries.
Ham Radio Workbench 2, Newsline 6?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man,
All
we're
right.
getting our
Drop it
clock
in.
clean.
Right.
You get, yeah, you're,
Guys, I'm going to have to drop off. I have to go to drop off my iMac to the Apple store for repair. So
That
Yep.
means we have a fighting chance. Thanks, Kevin.
thanks,
Okay.
Kevin.
I really enjoyed it. I'll look
Thanks,
forward to seeing
Kevin.
the rest of it online. Thanks.
Yep.
Bye.
Thank you, Kevin.
Bye, Kevin.
Bye, Kevin.
73.
All right. Ham Radio Workbench. Name the one amateur radio low frequency band and 2 medium frequency bands, either in frequency or wavelength.
2200 is the low frequency, and then 160 is an MF. And I can't remember what
630.
the other MF is. It 630
Yeah.
meters?
You got it.
Okay.
Well, all right. So, Mark, what'd you say?
2200 meter band is low frequency.
Yep.
And then 160 meters is medium frequency, and 630 is the other medium frequency.
Yeah, correct. You got it.
Wow, we got a point. We should get 2.
All right, question number 9 for Newsline. While lowering an antenna to the ground, where is a safe place to stand?
Inside your house?
In the middle of an ocean.
Behind it.
This has got some ambiguity. So,
well, yeah, because
you think.
I mean, if lowering your antenna to the ground, if
Just-
you need to be under it to help lower it to the ground, then you need to stand under it. If it's hinged and you're letting it down, then you would want to stand behind it.
But he's saying a safe space.
I think you just pick an answer and go with it.
Behind it.
I'm gonna
Or
give it to
away
you.
from it.
I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah.
The question or the answer is any answer about away from the antenna should it fall uncontrolled is acceptable.
All right.
Anywhere but under it.
Right.
So all of our answers would have been correct.
You're correct. Right.
Including inside
Right.
your house.
In the middle of the ocean.
Workbench number 9. The 1.25 meter or 220 megahertz band is available with slight differences in several IARU Region 2 countries. Why can it not be made available in AIRU Region 1?
Well, obviously it's being used by something else, but
Conflict with commercial.
I would say, yeah, it's being used commercially.
or military. Do we know what it's being used by?
No.
Does it matter?
Not
Kyle,
outside
to
of
the
the
answer?
US.
I don't think it matters.
I don't think it matters.
Yeah, it's
I don't
being
think it
used-
matters.
It's being used
commercially.
already. Yeah.
Final answer.
Yeah. That.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yep. It's being used.
Interesting.
Broadcasting audio, digital audio broadcasting.
Got it. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Question number, what are we on? 10? Last question of this round. Play it safe. On this is great. On ARR Field Day, and according to the USDA, what is the acceptable final meat temperature for cooking hamburgers? That's awesome.
I love that one.
That's straight out of Vince.
Well, this is also going to start another fight because I like my hamburgers cooked more. Some people are like, I just want raw ground beef on a bun.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let me look this up real quick to see.
That's why he said according to the USDA. Because
USDA.
they are going to have an
I
answer.
think 150, 160, 150 or 160 is, I think 160.
Because isn't like chicken higher or something? You got
Yeah, they
We
got to
are
get
talking
up to
about hamburgers
165.
here, so we have to talk of the content of the hamburger.
Which
I
would
think
be
160.
theoretically
No,
beef,
No, wait a minute.
or it could be vegetables.
If this is an official government measurement, it has to be in Celsius.
Metric.
Or Kelvin.
Yeah.
Yeah, or better yet, Kelvin. Yeah.
If you give it to me
Keep
in
the chemist
Fahrenheit,
happy here.
Fahrenheit or Celsius, I will give it to you. I'm not doing conversion to Kelvin, but you can do it at home if you want to.
Okay, guys, I'm going to go either 150 or 160.
I need an answer.
160.
160.
160.
Final answer.
Yep.
That is correct.
So I want to know, does the USDA stipulate field days a different temperature in the rules than non-field day?
Yeah, there's a
charcoal
whole
or
section
propane?
in the FDA website or the USDA website about field day.
Yeah.
Because it's ground beef, it has to be the higher temperature. You can do steaks at a lower temperature because the inside has never been exposed. But ground beef, you have to assume that any surface exposure is ground throughout the entire thing.
Ah, very good.
Yeah.
Little trivia.
Is that a reference ground or a counterpoise?
Yes, exactly.
That ground beef is a myth.
All right. Ham radio workbench. Yeah.
What if
How
it's
much
grown in a
energy does it
lab?
take at 2 gigahertz to get a hamburger on field day to the appropriate temperature?
A lot.
Train leaves
What if it's
Chicago.
grown in a lab? Does that change it?
What if you hold the hamburger in front of the 2-meter beam?
You know, Josh from HRCC did a whole video on frying hamburgers on his antenna, and he could never get them to fry. So,
Yeah, so there.
Yeah.
I think that
there.
other question is wrong.
More
then.
power.
yeah. All right. Ham radio workbench. Which two amateur bands often benefit from sporadic E propagation?
Definitely 6 meters.
In what region?
Our region. Our region.
Is that a Leyden
I
swamp?
hope Mike gets this.
6 and 2.
Yeah.
Is that
would
your
be the
final answer?
Yes.
Please tell me it's not 6 and 10.
No.
Yeah. No,
No,
6
no.
and 2. 6 and 2.
6 and 2 is your final answer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
According to this, that is incorrect.
What?
Wrong.
Now,
It's-
Newsline, if you want to give them the answer given is 10 meters and 6 meters.
Oh, we got it wrong.
10 and
No.
6?
No.
10 and 6. Now, you said 10. You said 6 and 2.
Yeah. And
Okay,
when
so they got one. Give them a half a point.
Well,
no, I
That
don't know
gives
if I
us
get
a
it
full
wrong.
panic because I got the background done.
all right. We are not going to give that to you. So, final score for this round: Ham Radio Workbench 3, Newsline 7.
Wow. That's
That
a
makes-
rout.
Okay, so
I
are we
had
going to
4.
add up the points at the end, or are we going for the number of rounds?
This
No.
is like playing golf. The lower score wins.
We're adding up the points. So I have
So we're consistent. We had 7 both rounds.
right,
Yes.
correct. So do I have this right? Newsline now has a total score of 14, and Ham Radio Workbench has a total score of 12.
Well, you said
We have 11.
Eight
You
and
have
3.
11.
11.
They have 11.
But I had 4 for us in this round, but maybe I
You
thought
know
it
what?
was the
No,
6
you know
and
what?
2.
I had 3.
I also had 4 for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. We,
All right.
we got 4 rounds.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
we
We
were
got
12.
gypped on a point and gypped on the last answer.
Okay. So right.
So Paul,
Okay, now
what
let
is
me- let-
what is
let me
your
ask? I had 8 for us last time, but I could have missed one.
I had
Does everybody
7.
else have 7?
7?
I went
Yeah.
running
Okay.
total, and I've got 15, 12.
I had Newsline had 7 last round, and Ham Radio Workbench had 8.
Roll back the tape. Let's go figure this out.
Yeah. We will roll back the tape whenever we
Instant
actually do
replay.
this. Right.
Okay. So then right now we have 12 for Workbench and 14 for Newsline.
Right.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what
fine.
I have.
We spotted you a 4-point lead.
Okay. Very good. All right, Newsline. Next round. Continuing on. This round is called "When I'm Calling You Ooh Ooh Ooh." Nelson Eddy. I don't know who Nelson Eddy is. I guess I'm not old enough.
Well, I do know, but that was way
I've
before my time.
Heard the song. Yeah.
All right. First question for Newsline. Here we go. When you hear a station with a call sign that is suffixed with stroke Mike might, what does that mean?
That means somebody
Means
better
you're
call
at Disney. It's
somebody
Mickey
better
Mouse.
call the
Maritime
paramedics
Mobile.
on Mike.
Maritime
Means
Maritime
Mike is
Mobile.
having a good day.
Final answer.
Maritime Mobile.
from a boat.
That is correct. All right.
That's correct.
Newsline 1.
I
Ham
like
Radio
the
Work
Disneyland answer.
Ham Radio Workbench. Your topic is non-common terms in ham radio.
Oh, bloody hell.
Here we
That's not
go.
a problem.
What is the difference in the abbreviation for Yoda in Europe and the Americas? Neil, I hope you get this.
I want to
but
phone a friend.
this is not yours.
I want
was
to
gonna
phone a
say.
friend, and that friend is Neil.
Considering I'm the one who implemented it.
Okay,
My guess
So
is
it's-
youth on the air versus youngsters on the air.
correct.
Yeah, I'll go for that.
Final answer? That is
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
Neil was nodding his head. We
That
had
is
to say
correct.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have no
that
idea.
was a
which one's
recommendation. That was a recommendation from Sterling and Sam. It's youngsters in Europe and youth over here
which. Okay.
because
got
the
it.
different connotations of the
Yeah.
words.
Yeah.
Very good.
But yeah, that was a recommendation after Sam and Sterling.
Thank
got
you,
back.
Professor.
There you go.
Yes, Neil's a professor now. I saw that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Number 2 for Newsline. This famous ham invented a legendary music device that was featured on the album Switched on Bach.
Bob Heil.
No,
Who
no,
is
no.
it?
No, switched and
Yes,
Bach.
Paul.
Robert Moog. I wasn't aware that Moog was a ham, but if that's the case, then yeah, Robert Moog, because switched on Bach, Wendy Carlos is all mostly all Moog.
Final answer.
Yeah, Robert Moog.
That is correct.
That is incorrect. It is pronounced Moog.
No, it's not.
Never
Okay, so has anybody ever been to the Moog Museum?
No, I have not. I'd love to.
I'm jealous. I'd love to go sometime. I have a Moog theremin. Just
Oh.
want to set the stage here.
Cool. Which was his first instrument before he
Yes.
did the synthesizer.
Yeah.
Zeppelin
Mark,
made
you probably
that.
also say Porsche.
I do. How
All
is
right.
that supposed to be pronounced?
Porsche.
Oh, got it.
All right.
Okay.
Non-common terms in ham radio Workbench. Hey, what is OTHR?
Other.
Yep,
NCW.
Okay, that's over the horizon radar.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Final answer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Correct.
That's correct.
It's a bloody noise source is what it is.
All right. Are we up to 2-2?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Newsline. Question number 3. According to Club Log, in March 2022, the list of DXCC most wanted. What is the prefix for the least most wanted DX entity? That's great.
The least.
Oh, that's
The
good.
guy that lowered his
Okay.
antenna.
Well,
That
it's
is
gotta
that is a
be
great question.
One of two.
Least most wanted?
Least. It's
That's
number
something to be-
340.
That's something to be proud of. We're the one that nobody really wants to talk to.
It's nice just to be nominated.
Yeah, okay. I have no idea.
I have a theory, but I'm going to wait until I.
I
see
mean,
it.
because the ones I know are, like Navasa or Bouvet. And
But those are at the
definitely-
top.
Those are
The
definitely not
top.
on the least most wanted.
So I'm assuming that's U.S. or Japan, one or the other.
I say U.S.
But the
I'd
prefix,
probably
what is
say
the
US.
prefix?
Well, give me
Well,
the
yeah.
country. Give me the country. Country.
Shut up, Mike.
No. I'm not saying Bupkis.
Is Bupkis a country?
The Republic of Bupkis.
The Republic of Bupkis.
Republic. Yeah. Commonwealth of.
I don't. Okay, let's go. I don't know, guys. What
I
do you want to
need
say?
an answer.
Let's
So
go
do
us.
we.
United States.
Final answer?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Holy crap.
Okay, to be specific, W6.
Is that what it
Well,
is?
there's the
W6?
point.
Probably.
Yeah.
Wherever George lives, yes.
Yeah. My other theory was going to be the DXpedition that just completed
Yeah.
because
yeah.
everyone's already worked it. But
Right.
Yeah.
All
Not
right.
everybody.
Non-common terms in ham radio Workbench. What is ALE and may it use be in amateur radio? Let me read that again.
Yeah.
What is ALE and may it be used in amateur radio?
Well,
automatic
it's
link
AO.
establishment.
Yes.
Yep.
Final answer. And yes,
Final
I
answer.
can.
Wait a minute. Isn't that an 807?
George,
Can
what's
it be used in amateur radio though?
Yes. Yes, you can.
final answer? That is correct.
I thought ALE was kind of like beer. And
Yeah, it's
definitely
an 807.
Can definitely be used in
807.
amateur radio.
Newsline. Question number 4. Gerson Strasberg, blah, blah, blah. WA2JXX. He invented this item which no self-respecting geek would be without. What was it? The digital watch, the slide rule, or the plastic pocket protector?
I think the slide rule.
Yeah, slide rule is old. Slide
And we're
rule's been
not?
around for a long time.
Which one? The digital watch, the slide rule, or the plastic pocket protector?
It's pocket protector or slide rule. I say slide rule.
Guys, what do you think?
I tend to agree.
All right.
Final answer?
Because the digital watch, I think the first one was TI, so that would have, at that point, it would have been a 5 series call. So let's go with slide rule.
That is incorrect.
The
Slide rules are ancient.
That's what
Pocket
I thought.
protector.
I bet it's a digital
Pocket
watch.
protector.
It's pocket protector.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? There's an inventor of the pocket protector?
I guess
That's not
so.
just
Of
a
course
thing.
there is.
I
God,
guess
hope
so.
he had the patent on it and got royalties.
Yeah, Bill Pocket came up.
All right. Ham Radio Workbench. In Summits on the Air, what is a region? What is a region? I need to go
As in,
take a
like,
look.
give an example of one region, or
Um,
describe what a region is.
Describe what a region is. Yeah.
Well, the description of that would be it's a geographical area, but as defined by, I mean, like it's like K6 is a region or W6.
W6, yeah. But that's managed by a particular person that's handling all of the soda stuff.
Yeah.
Like Rex for W6, I know that.
Right. But and even 6, I think that might be split between north south, but I'm not sure as region is a geographical area where there's a set of summits identified in the big summit database. That's a pretty vague-ish answer.
Yeah. Well, this answer is a little vague too. So
okay, we're going with a vague answer and hope for the best.
Yep. I'm going to give it to you. That is an association is often a country, but does not have to be. But there can be multiple associations within a country and multiple regions within an association. So, yes, I agree with your assessment, George. So, all right. Ham Radio Workbench 4, Newsline 3. Correct?
Catching up.
Yep.
Okay. Newsline, here we go. What is Dr. Owen K. Garrott,
Garriott.
W5LFL famous for? Thank you.
We'll mail them the point.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Just go ahead.
He was the first ham up on the shuttle, right?
Yeah.
You know, the first ham to fly on a shuttle
First ham
mission.
to transmit from space, or
Yeah.
transmit on ham radio in space.
Final answer?
We'll go with Neil's answer.
Yeah,
That is correct. I did not know that.
and he just passed away last year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the guys in my club actually talked to him on that first mission.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea that.
I have a recording.
Oh, that's
it.
cool.
I didn't get through, but yeah.
So he was on the shuttle, not on the International Space Station, on the
Well,
shuttle.
this was before
Oh,
the
yeah.
ISS was even a thing.
Oh, gotcha.
So yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Ham Radio Workbench. Question number 5. What is further down the log taken to mean when in many countries ham radio stations are no longer required to keep logs? Let me read that again. What is further down the log taken to mean when in many countries where ham radio logs are no longer required to be kept? How about that?
That means that the better wood is at this end of that chunk.
Further down the log.
Further down the log, yeah.
So further down the log usually means at some point in the future. Like I'll catch you further down the log, meaning tomorrow, someday. See you in the future.
In the future.
Final answer.
Yes.
That is correct.
I had my hand
That's
up.
correct.
Yeah, Dave.
Yes. Is this for your future self or?
Down the hallway to the left.
All right, Newsline. Where are the dodgies? Where are the call signs RA0ISS and NA1ISS located? And I need specifics.
Two different ends of the ISS.
Wait a minute. Let me get my tracker out.
Where are they right
I
now?
mean, do you want to know like where they are right now? Because I've got ham clock up here with the tracking.
Right now they're over the Pacific Oceans.
The RA is on the Russian module on the ISS, and the other one is on the US module.
Final answer?
Yep,
correct.
Technically, I
That's
believe
right.
that's the international module.
Yeah.
All right, Ham Radio Workbench. Question number 6. If a station uses the suffix slash or stroke AM or slash MM after their call sign, what do these abbreviations signify? 2 answers are required.
Didn't we already have the
Yeah,
MM?
we already had
got
one.
those.
Half of this one
Well,
already.
Yeah. Marine
We'll take it.
mobile
Yeah,
Maritime
and-
mobile
and
and
aeronautical.
aeronautical
mobile.
mobile.
Aeronautical, yeah.
Final answer.
Yes.
Yep,
Marine
that is
mobile
correct.
and aeronautical mobile.
Well, that was easy.
Well,
We already
there's-
gave you half that one.
Yeah, there's
I
half
know.
a point. Thank you.
Ham Radio Workbench 6, Newsline 5. Correct?
Agreed.
Well, it'll be 6 and 6.
Here we go. Number 7. This well-known musician changed his amateur radio call sign to W4CGP, which stood for Certified Guitar Picker. Who was it? Buck Owens, Chet Atkins, or Mark Kopfler.
Knopfler.
Knopfler.
Chet Atkins.
Knopfler.
Yeah.
Well, Knopfler was British anyway, so he would have a different call. No, Chet Atkins.
Final answer.
Chet Atkins.
That is correct.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to answer the question. I was just trying to preempt the. How the hell do you pronounce that?
Knopfler?
Yeah.
All right.
Mark Knopfler was the lead guitarist from Dire Straits and is one of the
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
finest guitar players in the history.
Yes. Yes.
He also
And
did the
composer.
soundtrack. Did the soundtrack for Princess Bride, which is one of the best movie soundtracks I've ever heard.
Yep.
Wonderful soundtrack.
Okay, Mark, here you go.
Workbench. What do the
This is
terms
Mark's.
AOS, TCA, and LOS mean?
Acquisition of signal, loss of signal, and I TCA. That one I don't know.
Yeah, same here.
Obscure Canadian publications for please.
TCA.
Can we
The
get 2 out of
Canadian
3?
amateur TCA.
I don't know what that is.
So it has something to do with satellite. So
Yeah, I'm guessing A is azimuth.
Is that Trans Canada Airways?
it's a Canadian amateur. Well, which is hold on. That's a valid answer. TCA is a valid answer. Canadian Amateur is an amateur radio magazine. Doesn't say it has to be specific to the other two.
Well, I think we've established it's a satellite term, right?
Okay.
Total
You're blowing away my cred on this one.
time. Is it the time mark of the pass?
You come
Total
on, Mr.
time?
Soar.
Time of contact acquisition. How's that for bullshit?
That's pretty
Sorry,
good
did I-
bullshit.
Okay.
I mean, BS.
I'm glad we're not live.
I don't have a better answer than that. So say that again, Mark.
Okay, so you got three answers here. Give me the answers.
Okay, hold on. So it's a contact acquisition. That doesn't make sense.
Well, because
It's either
AOS would
total or
also
a time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a new term you're going to have to put in Squirrel.
I know, right? So AOS and LOS are acquisition of signal and loss of signal. TCA.
Total communication.
Appliance.
Hey, guys, we should do a news story on this.
Yeah.
Need an answer.
Tenna. Azimuth.
What was one of the ones that you said?
Total what'd you say, Rod?
Time of contact acquisition.
Sure.
Yeah, that sounds good. Let's go with that.
That is incorrect.
Of course it is.
All right.
Of course it is. It's a wild
So you've got AOS is acquisition of signal. Yes.
Yep.
LOS is loss of signal. Yes.
Yeah.
TCA is time of closest approach.
Okay.
Gee, now you need a bigger screen, Mark.
Yeah, time of closest approach would be when it's the straight overhead.
All right.
Which would
So
be
we're still
halfway
6
between
and
the
6, right?
Damn it. Yes.
I'm going to have to totally rethink my entire SOAR thing now.
I know. Damn it.
I have
That's
to go
it. I'm
back
shutting
to
down the business.
2 HTs and some wires.
Newsline. The call sign prefix VR is assigned to this country. Name the country.
I knew this was going to happen.
VR. Victor Romeo.
Knew this was going to happen.
They're handing out call signs in meta now?
Exactly.
Oh, Mark.
Meta club call sign.
It's a virtual call sign.
That's right.
Oh, God. I don't know.
Need an answer. We are running behind.
I got nothing.
Let's
We're
just
always
say,
running. Hannah.
let's just say India.
Final answer.
Yeah.
That is incorrect. China.
Wrong.
China.
Really?
You want to? Does somebody
It
want
doesn't
to?
matter. They're still wrong. I thought it was Hong Kong specifically.
Oh, well, still wrong.
See, Hong
Still
Kong's
wrong.
a country.
Yep.
Yeah. No, Hong Kong is
Depends
different than China.
Depends on who you ask.
Well,
Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
Ham Radio
Xfinity number
Workbench.
321. I mean, I just looked it up. That's anyway.
Hopefully you'll get this one. There are now lots of OTA schemes and such in the hobby. What does JOTA stand for?
Jamboree.
Correct.
Final answer.
Final answer.
That is correct. Good job.
That's correct.
Ham Radio Workbench 7, Newsline 6.
Yep.
Okay. Newsline. Next question, number 9. There are call signs used to name an antenna. Name 2 of them.
Oh.
Give
Wait a
me
minute,
2
read it
call
again.
sign. Yeah,
G5RV.
The
G5RV.
Yeah.
And
There's a bunch.
what was that one from earlier? Something 9.
Yeah,
HB9
HB9
CV.
HB9 CV.
final answer?
Final
Yeah.
answer.
That is correct.
Now, actually, in the previous question, it was HB0CV. So are we going to be
Well,
consistent?
Yeah.
It would be HB close parentheses CV.
How did you guys
You're
forget the
gonna bust a
K9AY?
That is so true. That is so true.
Oh,
so,
no, HI.
so G5RV.
PAC-10 is not a call sign.
God, my eyes are failing me.
G5RV,
Yeah, ZS6BKW,
right?
HB9CV,
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike's K9AY,
I met him one
W3
day.
W3 Delta Zulu, and W3 EDP.
I don't know any of those.
And
Those
then,
last ones.
it's got any others that you recognize are also acceptable answers. It's
Oh,
like,
I would like to nominate the N6 MTS antenna. It looks an awful lot like a ground plane.
Yeah.
hey, you know what? You could have put a Adam K6ARK on there too.
That's right.
That's right.
All right. Non-common terms in ham radio. Workbench. What does the abbreviation AMTOR stand for?
I know what it is.
That's I think it's amateur radio, but the AM part. But
Yep.
TOR is teletype over radio, like Cytor.
Final
Amateur
answer.
teletype over.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Correct. That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Glad you knew.
All
that.
right. So do I have?
I had to forget a piece of American history in order to remember that fact. So at least I remember the right one.
Losing cells all over the place here.
Do I have this right? Ham Radio Workbench 8, Newsline 7.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Newsline, last question of this round. One more round left. Generally speaking, call signs follow a prescribed 3-part format. What are those parts? And I need specifics.
The prefix,
Prefix, region,
and then the region,
suffix.
and then suffix. Yep.
All right, you got to give me those again. What is the first part?
Prefix. And
Second.
then second is your region,
Okay.
and then third is suffix.
Is it designator? The number?
No. Is that your final answer?
You can't say no.
Guys, are
for
we
the
okay
hell.
with that? Are we okay with that? Prefix, region, suffix.
Yes, I'm good.
Yep.
That is incorrect.
Really? What?
Country, region, and licensee or operator.
This must be in some technical document somewhere. That's
Yeah. Ham Radio Workbench, do you want to give it to him?
No.
no.
I don't want to, but
Because the prefix,
I agree. Those are the general, I guess, English terms. But according to this, country, region, and licensee.
and that's all out the window in recent years, because your prefix over here, you could look like some rare DX, but you're just some guy in Kentucky.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You could be like the H living in North Carolina,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which there is.
Rod, do you have to drop?
Yep. I'm going to give the team a boost by simply leaving.
See you later, Rod.
All right,
See ya.
Hi,
Rod.
Rod.
Hey, Rod. Okay, so that actually no. Ham Radio Workbench has got one more. Oh my gosh. What does the letter Z after a time indicate?
Check mark.
Zulu. That means the time is UTC. Is specified as UTC.
Final answer. Correct.
Yes.
Which is
correct.
different than GMT.
Which is
That's-
different than GMT.
That
Let's
is
not go there.
correct. That is correct. Anyway.
UTC
I
never
never get burned on that one.
UTC never does daylight savings. GMT does. GMT follows daylight savings.
All right. I have Ham Radio Workbench 9, Newsline 8. Is that what everyone has?
I've got Newsline 7.
I'm sorry. Yeah, 7. I'm sorry. I'm counting
We'll go
wrong.
with
7. No.
1, 2, 3, 4. I have 7 as well.
Okay.
7.
Yeah.
Yep, I got it.
All right, so we are even then.
Yeah.
No.
We're
Are we?
tied.
We're tied at 21.
Because you had 12 going into this last round, so 9.
Yeah,
so
we
we're
were down
tied
by
at
2.
21.
Yeah.
Yep. 21-21. That's what
Nice.
I
Y'all
got.
have been
Recovery
very
guys.
consistent at the 7.
Yeah.
All right. Final round here. Newsline.
this.
You're powered
All
up
the
for
marbles.
more speed is your category. First question to Newsline. When operating on USB near the upper band edge, what is the highest your VFO should be set at to ensure you stay within the band limits?
Not over.
Let's see, you're
3 below.
3 below. Yeah, because your normal bandwidth is 3 kilohertz.
Final answer?
Yeah, 3 below.
That is correct.
It really depends on what filter you have set.
It really
It
does.
depends on how much power you're transmitting too.
Well, that's splatter. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how good your amplifier is.
That's why our radios actually add your low pass filter to your VFO and won't let you transmit out of band.
Yeah.
Or if you grab the compression knob and go, well, I can be louder if I do this.
There's only
Ham
2
radio.
settings, right? Off and all.
Yeah. Ham Radio Workbench. Your topic is amateur radio software and websites. Question number 1. What is the most well-known U.S.-based radio propagation service?
Oof.
Let me
WWV.
go.
That's a time service.
What is the-
But the broadcast isn't there.
What is the most
Yeah.
well-known U.S.-based radio propagation service?
Wait,
guess
is that
is a-
us or them?
No, it's
Yeah.
us.
Why, what were you thinking, Dave?
It's them, Dave. Shut up.
What is,
If I was home, it would be up here
Oh.
on my Geocron.
I know.
with-
I think I know what it
or-
is, actually. I think it's space weather. That'd be
I'll
my
go
bet.
with that.
I mean,
I'll go
NIST
with
is a
that.
source, but as
Yeah.
far as popular websites, I would guess space weather.
Space
yeah, I
weather.
got nothing better.
I'll go with that. Final answer.
Final answer?
Yep.
That is incorrect.
Oh, what is the
Vocap.
correct answer?
Don't
Vocap.
That's a
Vocap.
that's software. It
Software and websites is what it
but
says.
it says service, and that's a piece of software. So
Okay.
that,
So, Newsline, you want to throw this one out? Is that a challenge? Do you? What is the most well-known U.S.-based radio propagation service? The answer given here is Vocap. VOACAP.
Never heard of it.
I've heard of it. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Let them have it?
I'm
We didn't get it right.
It's too
but
close to
the
call.
teacher
Paul.
in me doesn't like the wording.
Yeah, I agree. I
we'll
totally
re-roll
agree,
the
Neil.
Questions
We'll
are
do.
questionable.
We'll go with whatever Neil thinks.
Neil, what do you think?
I mean, there are so many ways you could take this.
Here,
I-
let's
do you have
let's
a-
ask this: if the question was worded differently, honestly, Mike, George, and Mark, would you be able to? Would you have been able to get this?
If the question was, "What's the most famous propagation prediction software?" Then it's Vocap, and it's so yes, but it says service, so I never even thought of that.
Right.
Do you have a spare question? We can just chuck this one and replace it with a different question.
Well, I really don't.
Here, I can find
Make
one.
one up.
Andy, I thought it was WFML, but
Yes.
Is
Yeah, I'll go with
ham
that.
radio a hobby? Yes or no?
What number am I thinking of?
Can I order a pizza on a repeater?
yes,
Yes, you can.
Are we going to give it to him or not?
Yeah.
We didn't get it right.
Yeah,
But the question was poorly phrased.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
I'm gonna
like
say no.
phrasing.
We're
Okay.
tied right
It's
now.
too
So
close.
now
Carry on.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Okay, carry on. We're going to
not
carry
gonna
on.
be nice.
Even though we did give them one earlier.
That's
No.
true. We
on
did.
now.
Yeah.
Question
That's
number
okay.
Question number 2 for Newsline. What is the maximum PEP power allowed by a U.S. amateur while operating in the United States?
As much as you can get.
I have a customer story regarding about that.
Put out.
1,500 watts. isn't it?
1,500, isn't it?
I say 1,500.
Final answer?
1,500
Yeah,
out
50.
or 2,000, which
I-
translates to 1,500.
I think 1,500.
Final answer?
Yep.
That's correct.
That's correct.
That's on every test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was input. Is it input? The other
It
one.
used to be 2K PEP, and
2K.
but that's in the old
Input,
days.
wasn't
They
it?
changed it.
Good thing you didn't ask it in Canadian because it's 2250 at the antenna.
Ah,
Are those
gotcha.
metric watts?
Yeah, but you can say if you
Metric
lose 3 dB in the feed line, you can start with 5.
No.
Now, here we go. New Ham Radio Workbench. Name 2 multi-contest, multi-mode contest logging programs.
Okay.
Well, HRD, N1MM.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's not
N1MM.
multi-mode and M1MM, right? Oh, so
No.
FL Digi?
No.
No.
Does it do multi-contest, multi-mode contest logging? So certainly N1MM.
But okay, but by multi-mode, do they mean it has the like digital mode decoding kind of stuff in it, or is that?
Yeah. So that's
okay.
well, N1MM is integrated with WSJT.
Oh, okay. And then
and N3FJP.
N3FJP does not do like digital mode stuff. It's just logging.
Multi-mode logging though, not decoding.
Oh, okay. Well, all logging programs do multiple modes. I mean, why is that even a thing then? I assume the multi-mode thing means that there's some other software built into it. So HRD is a safe bet because it does everything.
Multi-contest, so it'll do multiple contests and multi-modes. That's N1MM.
Okay.
As contest logging. N3FJP does. I guess HRD has a contest mode, which I've never tried.
So you only need to name 2.
See, N3FJP is strictly logging. If they're searching for any other features,
Kyle's hinting at us that we've already got the 2.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to decode. It doesn't say anything about
well,
decoding.
just say if you go N1MM and HRD, I think you got them both.
Yep. Okay.
Final answer.
Final answer.
That is correct.
Is N3FJP another one?
Yes.
It is not.
Well,
it's one contest at a time.
Unless you buy the bundle.
Well, they all are one contest at a time.
But it's all
Right.
one. No, but it's separate software for each contest.
Okay.
Yeah. But any of the 2, N1MM, DXlog, N3FJP, log for OM, HRD, all of those are on the list.
Ed wrote that, right?
Ed wrote that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
We got the point. Shut up. Get going.
Newsline. All right. If a doubling of power is 3 dB and octupling is 9 dB, how much power is a gain of 30 dB?
I wonder when he wrote this question.
Questions.
Number 3, because we just discussed this in the last show.
Yeah, maybe he got it from the show.
He did.
Let me think.
Well, actually, no. He sent me these questions quite a while ago.
Oh.
So
Okay, so doubles get you 3. Well, every time you double it, you get 3 more dB. So to get to 30, you have to double it 10 times. Right?
We're going with 10 times.
Yeah, because yeah, to go from 3 to 6 is double. Well, hang on. It's to goodness, and then double it again to go to 9, double it again to go to 12, 10 times.
If you had your slide rule, you'd know.
In your pocket protector.
In my pocket protector. So yeah, 10. I don't know what the dectupling, whatever. So
right.
10 times.
Final answer.
I go with 10.
Yeah.
That is incorrect.
It's 1,000.
1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is the answer? Well, how is the answer written? Because is it trying to figure out what that word is for thousandsing?
No, it says 1,000 times more than the input.
Oh, bloody hell. Okay. That's easy. That's a
That
gimme.
is the
Yeah.
Except it's not.
question number 3 for Workbench. Name either the 2 common USB serial communication libraries used by many amateur radio digital modes and remote control programs. Oh my gosh.
Easy peasy. Mike?
FTDI and Prolific.
No. Whoa. No.
Libraries.
Belay that comment.
Yeah,
These are the
libraries.
software libraries.
But go ahead then.
This
Hamlib.
is Hamlib and RigCat or FLRig. There's 3. Pick 2.
You go ahead.
Hamlib and FLRig.
Well, it's either of the two common.
Oh,
So FL Rig is a
Hamlib.
program, not a library.
Oh, okay.
So
Hamlib.
yeah, let's go with Hamlib.
Final answer.
Hamlib.
That is correct.
What was the other one?
That's correct.
He's got OmniRig here.
Oh, right.
I haven't heard an OmniRig.
Yeah, and
Besides,
E3
prolific
NEA.
doesn't work.
Yeah.
it doesn't
Prolific
Linux.
work.
That's how I get all of my USB to serial converters because
Mark's
people
correct.
buy prolific ones and they're like, it doesn't work on my Windows machine, and I just take them because they work great in Linux. Linux doesn't.
Yeah.
Linux driver doesn't care.
Okay, is it 2-2?
Yes.
Yes.
2-2. All right. Newsline, question number 4. You hear a station calling CQ, and after giving their call sign, they say 3 up, 5 up. What does that mean?
That means that they are listening either 3 or 5 kilohertz up from their transmitting frequency.
Agreed.
Or
Working
both.
split.
They're working split.
Final answer.
Working split.
That is correct.
And not everybody gets that.
No, they don't.
That is correct.
The next question should be, you call the DX on his frequency and you start hearing 900 people go, up, up, up. What does that mean?
Exactly.
Means you're wrong.
Question number 4 for Workbench. Name the freeware HT programming software package.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, easy.
Chirp.
Chirp. Chirp.
Final answer.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay, now we're going to talk
That's
to Ed.
correct.
Newsline, question number 5. What is coax cable velocity factor?
Oh, jeez.
That is
How
the,
fast it goes when you throw it.
Off the roof.
Yeah, that's how fast the propagation down the cable is, and it depends on the physical properties and also what it's made of. So it's the propagation time for a given piece of coax.
Final answer.
Yeah.
Agreed.
As we're going to give it to you.
That's correct.
The answer is
the pedant in me wants to argue.
yeah, the
Yes.
the
knew
long
what they
phrase answer is velocity factor reflects that the fact that the speed at which the signal travels within a coax cable is not the same as an electronic or electromagnetic wave traveling in free space. It is reduced by a factor equal to the velocity factor.
And he wanted us to answer that.
And he
Yeah.
didn't even use the word speed of light in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I was going to say the part that I was going to be pedantic about was the fact that it's relative to the speed of light.
Yeah. All right. Workbench. Name one general purpose antenna design PC program.
Easy neck.
George.
Easy neck.
Final answer.
Easy neck.
That is correct.
Ed, what are you doing to us?
That's correct.
He also left off YO, you know,
Neck without the easy. Hard
Yeah.
neck.
Yagi optimizer,
Yeah, yo.
antenna optimizer. Yeah.
All right. I got 4-3 Workbench. Is that correct?
4 to 4.
No, 4 to 4.
It's a 4-4.
I had 4-3.
So
Well,
the
of
last
course you did.
You guys have gotten anything wrong in this round?
No.
they got one. They got one wrong. Question number 3, they got wrong. The question is, did they get number 5 right? What was the previous one?
Number 5
velocity
was
factor one.
the velocity factor. They got that right.
Yes, they
Yeah,
got
so
that
it's
one
4-4.
4-4.
4-4. 4. Yep. Okay.
44.
I'm good on my total here. All right. Question number 6 for Newsline. What is the generally accepted value for the speed of light in a vacuum? Oh my gosh.
European?
Would you? Yes.
African or
African or European?
African or European?
Freedom units.
3.00 times 10 to the 8th meters per second.
I'm going
Said
with
the
the science
professor?
professor on this one.
I'm with him.
You didn't do it in miles?
Give that to me in miles
No,
per
express it in
second.
furlongs per fortnight, please.
You only
Oh
have
my
the answer
gosh.
in miles, Kyle?
I do. I've got
From a Canadian.
yeah, right.
okay.
I know. I hear you.
So
okay. What was your answer, Neil?
it was
3
correct.
times 10 to
was
the 8th
correct.
meters per second.
It's correct.
It's
yeah.
correct. Yeah. I mean, there's like 5 different.
0.998 in air.
There's 5 different answers on this sheet, and I just like it's making my mind blown.
Yeah, no, 300 times 10 to the 6. Yeah.
Okay, Newsline got it 5-4.
Yep.
All right, very good.
Thank
Question
you,
number
Neil.
6. Ham-rated Workbench. Name both common remote receiver only software platforms.
GQRX.
Common remote receiver.
Like WebSDR?
Like WebSDR. That's what I was thinking.
Oh.
Well, WebSDR.
And Kiwi SDR?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Is
thought
that a
of
software platform? I know they do hardware.
Don't know. That's the only thing I can think of that's remote. So you can do all the time domain calculations with it.
Need an answer.
Remote receiver only.
Yeah, I can't think of a second one. So that's as good an answer as I could imagine.
Yep, I'm good.
Final answer?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Whew. Wow. Well done, Mike.
Yeah.
And it was fumbling around back here. What the other?
Yeah. I couldn't think of a second one. That's great.
All right.
So WebSDR and Kiwi SDR?
Yeah.
Correct. That's the two.
Okay.
Yep.
Mark, you need to go play with Kiwi because you can pick 4 or 5 stations and try to do some direction finding on the source.
Oh, nice. Okay.
All right. I got 5-5, correct?
Space
Yes,
weather.
agreed.
Look at that.
All right. Newsline. According to the Space Weather Prediction Center, what is the shortest amount of time it takes for a coronal mass ejection to arrive here on Earth?
Tamitha.
Where's Tamitha? Yeah.
Where's Tabitha?
Where's Tamitha? She's on our team.
I have no idea.
So there's a range, and if you get a number inside this range, I'm going to give it to you.
Wow. Okay.
I was thinking it was just a few minutes, like 12.
I'm good with 12.
I'm well, yeah. Well, let's say
20-ish was in my head, but I don't know.
well, we can give them a range. So let's say 12 to 25. Sound good?
Yeah.
No. You need to give me a number.
That was a number.
I know,
was a
but
number.
a single number. You can't. No, but I
You
can't
said a
rationalize.
range.
There is a range, but you need to give me a number. How about that?
All right. So you want to go with 12?
Yeah, I do.
All right. 12 minutes.
That is incorrect.
Yeah,
Of course.
it's-
What is it?
that
2
would be
days?
like that would be relativistic speeds. CMEs are mass; they're not photons. It takes 8 minutes for light to get here from the sun.
So
It's
the
what?
the range that was given was 15 to 18 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's 1 day.
So that's a longer trip than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like
physical
going to
particles.
Dayton.
Yeah.
I've got more time to prepare.
Yes.
I'm actually honestly surprised it's that fast. That's
I thought it was 2 days, but
yeah. Okay.
Workbench. Name 2 international call sign lookup websites.
QRZ.com.
And QRZ.
What was that's what I just said. What's the
Yeah, I
other
know.
one?
and the other one I can think of because I got an email from them yesterday.
What is it?
It's something like QRZ lookup or it's the competitive product, but it just of course never worked.
I need the website URL.
You are https://www.qrz.com.
Is
It's
one
the
of
easy
them.
one.
What's the other one?
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know. I always just use QRZ.
Smart ass.
You asked
I'm
for
like,
the
you
URL.
got the emails. Think about it.
It's only one most click away to look at. I think it's qrzlookup.com also.
Okay, let's go with that. I have no
It's-
clue.
but that's not exactly it, so we're probably going to blow it. So,
Final answer.
yep.
That is incorrect.
Yeah, what was the other one?
So there's 4 listed here: QRZ, QRZCQ, HamQTH, and HamCall.net.
Okay.
Yep. I
Never
wouldn't
heard
have
of
gotten
2
any
of
of those.
Hey,
Yeah.
All right.
Mike, did we both get our pens from the same vendor trying to send us samples?
Samples, I've got one. RF kit?
Oh no, they sent these samples to our theater.
Oh, no, this is
All right.
right from Reinhardt.
Okay.
Newsline. Question number 8. Generally speaking, which sideband do most HF digital modes operate when below 10
that's a good
megahertz?
question.
Oh,
All of them.
I think it's upper.
All of them.
Wait, below 10 megahertz?
below 10 megahertz.
So
a
that's
good
like
question.
40 and 80 and that.
Well,
Oh, wait.
40's lower.
Digital modes.
Yeah, I think they're all upper.
Digital modes are all on, all the ones I've used are on upper sideband. So USB.
Final answer?
Yep.
That is correct.
I like the way that's written,
fished them
though.
in, eh?
Yeah.
Good thing
almost
I
got it
saw
there.
the digital modes part. Yeah.
All right,
You're not supposed
here-
to look at that part.
It's 6-5 Newsline.
The I don't read everything guy would have answered that incorrectly in a multiple test going, oh, below 10 and just said lower.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Ham Radio Workbench, name 2 programs that support the JT65 protocol.
Oh, this is good.
Well,
WSJTX.
Mm-hmm.
and
I don't think FLDG does.
no.
And JTDX does not. You're lucky I'm not sitting at the other computer because it's sitting there on 6 meters right now. So I wonder if it's
Doesn't the iPad software for the Flex have JT65 built into it?
No.
Or it has FT8
only
built into it.
FT8 and
FT8
RTTY.
and FT8 and
FT4
FT4.
and RTTY and SSTV.
You might
or
be-
WeFax.
You might be using one of these software packages this weekend.
WSJTZ.
Is that a thing?
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
Okay,
Final answer.
sounds good.
That is correct.
Wow.
Mike got him.
That's correct.
What is WSJTZ?
It's a fork of WSJTX, but it's the one that's got all the robot code in it.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
We need both of these guys.
So the other 2 were JTDX and MSHV.
MSHV, I'd forgotten about that. JTDX, I guess, does. JTDX doesn't have MSK 144. So you can't do meteor scatter with it.
Okay. Newsline. There's a caveat here. These 2 are my questions because Vince, I guess, got sleepy and didn't give me questions number
Dog
9
needed
and
to go for a
10.
walk.
Yeah. So stakes had to be turned. So this is one of my questions on the HF band, excluding 10 meters. What is the maximum symbol baud rate one must not exceed when transmitting data in the United States?
Good question.
That's an exam question.
That is an exam question. I took it exactly from the exam.
Now,
And
wait.
he's got-
from
and
the
he's-
extra test or
Yeah, it's been several years since I took that too.
I don't know where I got it from. It's called the internet.
And he's got 2 numbers in his head and he's not sure which one is right.
Number 32's in my head for some reason.
God.
No, I don't think 32.
Need an answer.
Hey, Neil, you got that one?
That would be no.
That would be no, but I've got like A, B, and C in my head.
Those aren't numbers, Neil.
What about
12?
4,800?
1,200?
I say 4,800, but
Yeah, that was C.
I'm gonna go with 48. What do you guys?
I need an answer.
Then you can blame it on me if we lose.
Yeah, let's do that. 48.
Final answer?
Yeah.
That is incorrect.
Oh, come
That was
on.
a good guess, by the way. Because I was thinking some people do like D-Star on HF, and that's 4,800.
Yeah,
So-
that's true.
Most
Well,
things are.
There's
300.
bit rate and then there's symbol rate.
Right.
If you've got multiple bits per symbol, you can do higher bit
true.
rates.
True.
So I think the symbol rate is 300.
300. 300.
100.
Yep.
That was B.
All right. That
All
was
these
B.
questions could be contested.
All right, 6-6. Here we go. Ham
So we're
Radio
still
Workbench. We're still tied here.
No
Except
pressure.
that we haven't gone this round yet. So
Question number 9. What is the radio mobile and HFTA software packages do?
Well, those are propagation, terrain mapping, coverage area. They're coverage area mapping software.
So yeah, Radio Mobile will give you a scatter pattern of your repeater coverage or your link path losses.
Yeah.
So for RF distance calculations
and coverage area.
I'm going to guess that he knows that one.
Final answer.
I have a paid login for it.
That is correct.
That's
Ham Radio Workbench 7, Newsline 6.
Yes.
All right.
Still tied up.
Last question, Newsline.
No, he said we could still tie it up.
You could still tie it up.
Right.
Yeah.
Many common ham radios use RS-232 as their communications protocol. What is the maximum baud rate you can communicate over RS-232? Now,
I'm going to say it doesn't matter because we want to get rid of RS-232.
That's right.
Isn't that right?
Have you seen my presentation on that? The death of RS-232?
Yes. 9600.
Kyle, what qualifier are you going to give on this question?
Whenever you log into a program and they give you set parameters that you can choose from, what is typically the last one that you can choose? Not like, what I can blow through the wires, at 6 inches.
I've mostly used USB, so that's totally different baud rate.
My 40 years of BBSing is screaming at y'all right now for not knowing this off the top of your head.
I'm in 9600.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Gotta be higher. I'm thinking 192K.
On 232?
232. There are many different rates that you can choose from. What is the last one?
What does that mean? The highest one?
The highest, yes, the highest.
Highest,
Yeah. The highest speed. Yep.
Neil? All right. I guess, that sounds as good as any. What did you say, Neil? 192?
192.
All right, let's go with that.
192K, to be clear.
K,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Final answer?
Yeah.
That is incorrect.
115,200.
George just got it.
115.
Oh, Mark had it at the same time.
I was stuck at 57.6. I couldn't remember what the next one was.
It's just twice.
Yeah. The goofy part of that question, though, is like, I know you said it, you clarified it, Kyle, saying it, commonly found.
Yeah.
But before that, I was thinking, well, it depends on the cable length.
Right.
So,
I know. I totally, because I had to clarify it, right?
Yeah. So that helped.
Yeah.
Have I mentioned that that's a half-century old archaic technology?
It is. Well, I was gonna talk about
CW.
Ethernet, but
You may have mentioned that once or twice.
I've done a presentation or two on it.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, the old 82, what is it? The 8250 serial controller chip. That was the maximum baud rate it could support.
all right. Just for poops and giggles here, Workbench. Question number 10. Both Echolink and IRLP use VoIP technology over the internet. In their original forms, what is the one major operational difference between the two analog modes? Between Echolink and IRLP? Jeez, I'm going to have to look this up. Let me see.
In the original forms.
Operational differences?
Well,
Yeah.
so one thing is with IRLP, they have a central authentication server, and I think
Single person.
well, actually, the other thing is like with IRLP, there's no client version; it's only repeater to repeater.
Yeah.
Whereas in Echolink, there's end
Everybody
user
did,
client
yeah.
as well as repeater connections. I think that's probably what they're fishing for.
I think so. The major operational difference between the two analog modes, and I assume that means the analog side of the VoIP connection. Yeah, I think that's it. So IRLP is repeater to repeater. Echolink can be repeater to repeater or client to repeater or client to client.
Yeah, and also you don't need a radio. And this is more of a rule than a technical thing, but you can also use Echolink without a radio, whereas with IRLP, since they're always connected to repeaters, by definition or extension, you are always using a radio.
Yeah.
That's a long-winded answer. I'm assuming that's going to be your final
somewhere
answer.
buried in the dictionary is the word we're searching for.
Yeah, right. That is correct. You hit all of the points. IRLP will always be a part of the route using RF. Echolink can be computer with no radio involved.
Yeah, that's okay.
I thought you were going for hang time, courtesy beeps, and IDs.
Well, they also run different
IRLP
codecs.
won't allow them.
Really?
Yeah,
No,
IRLP
IRLP
does not allow any of that. And Echolink, all of it.
Really tightly
Wow.
controlled by. I've even forgotten his name. I've dealt with him so
Dave
many times.
Cameron.
Dave thing.
Cameron.
Canadian. Another Canadian.
Okay, so final scores. You guys ready? I have Newsline had 6 on that round, and Ham Radio Workbench had 8.
Yep.
Correct?
There's where we lost.
So that brings Newsline up to 27 total, and Ham Radio Workbench a total of 29.
Right.
Right.
Really?
Are we undefeated?
I thought we were 2 down at the end of the 3rd round. I thought this would be a
No,
tie
we were
then.
tied.
No,
were
we
two
were
down.
tied.
Tied.
Yeah, we were 2 down at the end of the 2nd round, and then we
Yeah.
tied it back up at the end of the
Oh.
3rd
George
round.
missed the 3rd round.
Yeah, you won. That's the point.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yes, it is. That's exactly right. We
that make
won,
us-
and
does that make
is
us
the point?
Does that make us undefeated, George?
It does.
We're 2-0.
Yes, we are.
Now
Yep.
we're not doing a story on this.
We'd do a story on you.
I'm really honestly I'm surprised because halfway through this I thought, boy, we're kind of in the soup at this point.
You
Well,
guys
that
came
second
back with
round-
softball.
That second round beat the tar out of us.
Oh yeah, that was a killer.
Yeah,
that
but
was
when
terrible.
you guys are some software using people, I gotta tell you that.
The word nerd is what you're hunting for there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of the word pocket protector.
And it's what 9 a.m. 9:30 over there on the Pacific side.
Yeah, my wife's up now.
I'm looking for lunch.
Honey, what did you do today? Because I won trivia.
That's right.
God. Wow, this is really fun. It was so fun to do this with you guys.
Yeah. I love these. These are
Nice
fun.
to meet you
Yes.
for the first time, actually. so-
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it.
I want to thank everyone. I want to thank Vince and Ed for supplying the questions.
Yay.
That was a major coming up with these questions is a tough gig.
It is a hard one. Yeah.
It is hard. So
Can I ask a question? here?
sure.
If we do this again, can we add questions that are not ham radio related? I would like to see a general trivia.
Well,
Only if they have to do with the FDA.
USDA.
USDA.
Sorry,
Yeah,
USDA.
yes.
No, he meant
and
FDA.
temperatures.
Like proper cooking temperatures for a variety of different foods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever you threw the ARL field day in there, I guess I had to accept
was
it.
pretty
But this channel is more ham radio related, so I'd like to keep them ham radio centric. That's what I kind of do on my regular trivia. But I mean, I'm up for anything. If you guys want to do some non ham radio related and just do general questions, we can do that too.
I'm just
that's
throwing
fine.
that out there.
Yeah.
You know,
There's
you could
something
ask
other than ham radio.
You could ask listeners to send in questions. Just do a pool.
That's
Yes.
That'd be interesting.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That
we
would
could
No,
do
'cause
that
with
too.
our luck, we would get Ed again.
And then you just have a random number generator pull them out. That would be
Yeah.
pretty entertaining. You'd still have to vet them though.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna wrap this up. I want to thank everyone for making it this this long into the podcast or the video. Ham Radio Workbench. Do you want to plug anything that's coming up before we or after we release this, which would be sometime maybe the end of June, correct?
Yeah, after the end of June, we're gonna do an episode on our field day debrief and what went well and what didn't go so well at field day.
Very good. Can't wait to hear that. I was I haven't listened to the field day episode yet, so I'm anxiously awaiting to see what the plans are. So,
And we also, Kyle, need to get you back on to talk about your post field day experience with the network and see if there's any updates on that project.
Yep.
yeah, we'll do. We'll get that scheduled. Thank you. Newsline, anything you want to plug? You want to plug some Newsline stuff that where people can hear it and some other stuff?
We
First
have
off,
news.
First off, I wanted to say that I listen to Ham Radio Workbench. I have for years, and I really enjoy it. Even if you talk about stuff that kind of goes over my head, I always find something entertaining, and it does eat up a lot of time during my commutes. But you can find us. Our website is arnewsline.org. And from there's links to everything. We're on Facebook, and you can subscribe. You can either stream it off the website, or you can subscribe to the podcast with a podcast app, and it comes down to you once a week by magic. So that's the best way to find us. We've been 42 years, I think. No, wait, our first one was 76. So
Dang.
46 years and counting.
Wow.
And
I'm only 1 year older than the Newsline.
there you go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a weekly 20-minute newscast, and it's well worth your time. And one of those guys is on it now too. So
Yeah,
we just welcomed George to our stable.
Very good.
Hi, George. Welcome.
Thank you. So Karen said, "Hey, could you read this?" And and she said, "Paul wants you to do this." And I said, "Well, okay, sure." So it was really fun to give it a shot. Although I had to do it like 5 times. What's that, Dave?
Right? Next time you're on our team?
Yeah, I'll just switch back and forth.
Yeah.
So I'm just joining their thing on Facebook. It says, "What's my call sign?" Of course, like all these things. Why do you want to join? And my answer is because we beat you in trivia.
I want to rub it in.
Consolation prize is that we're going to boost your subscription numbers.
Well, I'll have to look that one up, and maybe we won't approve that one.
Yeah, that's okay. Believe me, being somebody who does administration on a Facebook group, I know I have one on my cottage one. It says "spell potato," and the answer is yes. Decline. You're out of here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, hey, by the way, there's also there's another crossover here too, and that is that Paul's been kind enough to be a announcer on the Ham Radio Workbench, or as we call him, the Bill Curtis of the Ham Radio Workbench podcast.
Ah, nice.
And has recorded some great bits for us. So I really appreciate that.
Some bumpers and trailers.
Yeah. It just struck me one night. I'm like, well, I'm recording some stuff. Let's do a few extras. So
yeah, cool. Very good. All right, we're gonna shut her down. Thanks for watching. Every third Friday we play Ham Radio Trivia. Everyone is welcome. We play on Kahoot, so it's free to play. You download. Actually, you can play on any connected device, or you can download the app, and it's totally free. So. We'll do the next one in, well, you probably won't see this because we're going to release this at the end of June, but third Friday. So in July, it'd be the 15th. So thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. And any departing words, last trash talk that you guys want to do while we...
quick, big thank you. Yeah. big thank you to Kyle for doing all this.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's wonderful
doing the hard
that
work.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And
Thank you.
We were really close there. So, I mean, this was, this was not a blowout either way. So
No.
This was fun.
I really thought it was going to, I calculated a dead heat. So it was very close.
We lost on the software questions. That's what got us.
There was no hockey questions.
Yeah.
Well, hockey season's, well, it's not over, but
Well, no,
it's
there's
close.
my lightning map and VLF antenna is made out of hockey sticks. That's a ham radio question.
Oh, there you go. There you go. All right.
Very key to a hockey game.
All right. Everyone go to Ham Radio Workbench podcast and Newsline. And the links will be in the description below. Click on them. Give them some love. And we will catch you later. 73.
Bye, guys.
73.
Be good humans.